Y'all cut it off. Just to get you in the mood real quick.
When you're dreaming in the nightmare, reality is really real.
SwissFrankie.com.
When you're dreaming in the nightmare, reality is really real. Monsters, we don't interfere. Cause you can show no sign of weakness here. Cause when you're dreaming in the
Swiss Frankie on the beat.
reality is really real. Dreaming in the nightmare, reality is really real. Monsters, we don't interfere. Cause you can't show no signs of weakness here. Now when you're dreaming in the night, reality is really real. Monsters, we don't interfere. Cause you can't show no signs of weakness here. Cause when you're dreaming in a nightmare, reality is really real.
What you think, you can stay asleep? It's a dream or a nightmare. Hell no, man, life here. If you haven't, better not show no fear. This the reality, we live in totality, but watch how you handle me. No weapon against me shall prosper. I swear to God, boy, I'm about to drop you no biggie, cause nobody caring who shot you. I'm a bad boy, now I'm a bad man. You wanna try me, go ahead, take a stab at it. Cause I'm gonna drop you like a bad habit. Oh yeah, these crackers is a bad habit. When I catch you slipping, I'm so unforgiving. I'm so lyrical that it's unforgiving. I'm repping the H like my last name is Zulu. You can call me the revolutionary guru, the cultural thriller in Manila. I'm in y'all, the cracker killer, the revolution will not be televised. I swear to God right now that I'm hella hot. Hella hot. Told me to cut off the lullaby. We gonna die. African owned lyrics, goodbye. Goodbye.
When you're dreaming in the night, reality is really reality. Monsters, we don't interfere.
What's up, y'all? I figure we play a little spirit music to get in the spirit of things. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's week has started off progressive and spiritual and all those other things. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got my thing going down this way. Mouth.
Hey,
how you going, man?
Good, man. Good. I just had a 54th birthday, and it was
Happy birthday.
Thank you. The weekend was good. The week's been good. I have no complaints, man. None.
Hey,
None.
you got sang to and everything.
Yeah, you saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah, good doctor. I called it a good doctor.
Gave you a little
Serenade.
Yeah, a little serenade.
I love it, man.
You know, out of nowhere. She has a pretty nice voice.
Yes, indeed. I'm glad you introduced me to her, man. She's good people, man. Did you see my birthday present from her?
I didn't know you was adopted.
Yeah, man. I'm adopted, man. I don't talk about it much because I love my family, man. I love the family that adopted me, but you know, it's a missing place in my heart. You know,
I heard it on the show.
Yeah,
when she was doing the show with
you watched it.
Yeah. I try when it pops up. I usually tune in whoever's on.
Thank you. Yeah, I love my mom. I love my sister. I love my dad. I love everybody. My aunts, my uncles, my grandmother that passed away last year. I love them all, but there's always something missing. Like, you know, it's jokes in the family because me and my daddy have a receding hairline, so it's a joke in the family. You ain't really adopt him. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
You ain't really adopt him. You just said you adopt him, but you know it's jokes in the family. But I want to know the truth. Long story short, I want to know the truth. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I just want to know why I think the way I think, why I walk the way I walk. You know, I want to know all them kind of things. You know.
I saw that on the show. I'm like, damn, Mark, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I don't talk about it. I don't publicize.
Not even judging from the pictures you showed me. I was like, oh, snap.
From the pictures?
Yeah, that one. But you showed me one. You went to your mom with a dog, and she had a picture of your your dad and everything. I would have never.
Yeah, you never would have put that together.
Nah,
I don't. I try my best not to talk about it, man, because you know I don't want them to think
you don't appreciate it.
Yeah, he don't appreciate us. All we did. No, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. And I've spoken to my family briefly about it. They're not gonna be butthurt, but I still don't want to rub it in their face.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, what about you? How you been?
I've been great. I actually support that. I believe everyone should know from whence they came because it's desire that plagues any of us at any point in time. I'm a big proponent of DNA. I don't think you should end up being um, an adult and not know to whom you belong, regardless of what their circumstances or how they turned out, good, bad, or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
You always going to be curious about that. So
Yeah, that's true.
I hope it's your right. Nobody should have their feelings hurt from you wanting to know. It's not a disrespect to anyone, so I totally support that.
Yeah, that's
And I've been pretty good, all right. I'll be off work for these celebrated times.
Yeah,
so I'll be
yeah.
on a mission to get quite a bit accomplished.
Yeah, I dig it.
I like
dig
the way
it.
you put that. These celebration times.
Shoot.
Cold. I love it. I love it.
Man, that's dope. I'm gonna
What's going on with you?
man, everything's cool, man.
How's the fam?
The family's cool.
That's what's up.
I've talked to a couple OGs this week, and they kind of set the tone for what I kind of need to do. The OGs always come in with a relevant word and concise and to the point.
Okay.
And I barely get the question out sometimes. They be like, look. This is what you need to do. You need to communicate. You need to do whatever
That's
it
what's
is.
up.
So, and it's good when, an OG call you just to check on you. Just to see, hey, man, I know you got the kids now. They might not remember how many, but, because in their eyes, you still a kid. And it's like, that's dope that you even would think of me with your kids to call me and be like, yo, what's up, man? You done got kids now. I never thought your behind was gonna get married. Like you with this one woman. Like I need to meet her because it's, you know what I'm saying. It kind of plagues them at times. Like hold on, you stay with one woman how long? So one of them saw my mom and they chopped it up, and then he called me. He got my number, hit me up. So it's like it's just dope people that
That's
what I'm saying,
good.
that hit you up and just be like, shit, that's. I had the same issues. They don't even say problems, but and then they make you face it. And they never like, oh, this is a problem. Like, nah, man, check this out, man. You got choices. You did this. This is how you can deal with it. This is how you can fix it. None of that sob story. But anyway, yeah.
That's all we are. All we are is a chapter in the Bible, in the book of life.
Mm-hmm.
I used to tell my nephew all the time, I'm not older than you just to be some old lady in your life.
Yeah.
I came before you to learn a few things.
Mm-hmm.
That you can adhere to, you can gain wisdom from if you choose to. That's what all your people that come before you, they are a book, a breadth and wealth of knowledge, whether they were able to apply it to their own life or not, because a lot of us don't like to listen. Can I be so busy set up to say, well, you didn't do it? That's probably exactly why I can tell you how.
Yeah, man. And we talked about that today.
That's probably exactly how I can tell you from my successes as well as from my failures.
Exactly.
Now, you could choose to garner from that or stand in your inquisition of position to judge that I didn't apply it to myself or not. But you can see a lot when you're standing on the outside. Looking in.
Yeah, exactly.
So just maybe I might have something to lend you, whether I was able or successful at applying it to myself or not.
Yeah.
I listen to everything.
True.
Grown people who have lived life have to say. And then I get to decipher how I use it or if I use it, but I listen for sure.
Exactly.
I tune in for sure.
I've done that myself, man. I definitely listen a lot more than I did when I was younger.
I always did.
I
would sit with my great-grandparents, great-great-grandmother, sewing, listening, and watching. Being quiet.
Sometimes I would be like, I was a little rambunctious. I'm like, man, you don't got this, whatever, but not even when I got looked like in my 20s, I just listened. I was like, man, I realized a lot of people that I was listening to was like giving me bad frequencies.
Probably because they don't know. When you listen to your peer, when I was young, I was like, man, y'all ain't got nothing to offer me. Let me go back in the house.
Exactly.
You want to play, you want to talk about stupid stuff, that's great. But let me go. They got some good stuff going on back in the house.
Them
or
elders
on that
always
stoop
gave it to me.
or
Yeah.
something. They got that good stuff. I need to hear that.
I got taught how to cook. I go in there, especially them older ladies that I be cool with.
Man, listen.
I go in there, hey baby, just pass me that right there. What is this? Just pass to me. This is how you do. That's how I got good at cooking.
Yes, and it's the small things.
Yeah.
Right? It's not that nobody else can fry chicken, but it's that one little thing. That one little special thing.
Yeah.
That sets it all apart.
Everything. And then to break it down to some spiritual things.
Yes.
And what I loved about, I used to go to the old folk home and just play domino, get my head banged in. They'll let me win a round or two. I'll be crunk. I'm like, look, old man, you ain't ready. You ain't ready. Next six, 7 games. I'm like, so y'all was just running me, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like banging my head in.
Because it's lessons only time teach.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The nooks and crannies come with time.
Yeah.
They don't you can't rush that process.
Yeah.
I don't care how smart, how great, how athletic, how rich, you cannot rush the nuances and the teachings of time. You just got to live.
The OG told me that today, man. We were talking about our pop, because his pops passed a little bit after mine, and he was telling me our pop said the same things to us. He was like, my pop told me this, and he was like, 2 things he said. 1, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth, which means you should listen more than you talk.
Well, facts.
I was like, yeah, my dad told me that. He said, David, you don't always got to talk. Just sit back and listen.
That's it.
Hold up.
And then
you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should listen more than you talk, because you got 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Listen twice as much as you talk.
I ain't never heard it said like that.
Yep, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We were chopping it up, and he was telling me that.
It's for a reason.
And then he told me his pops told him, I'll always be the father, you'll always be the son. Pretty much. And my dad would tell me, he would say, David, no matter what, I'm gonna be your daddy. No matter what you do, no matter what happens, I'm always gonna be your daddy. You'll never, the roles will never change. Never. And pretty much saying, I don't win. Oh, that's what it was. That's what he said. And both of our pops said this. Boy, I done forgot more stuff than I could ever teach you, or something like that. I was like, man, it was it just brought me back. It brought me back, man. It's like, yo, it's amazing how, because he's the OG's like, he's hitting 60, 70, you know what I'm saying? And my dad died at like 50 or whatever, 49, 50, whatever. But what I'm saying is 2 different ages. Mm-hmm. I mean, ages in time. Mm-hmm. And they were saying the same thing.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like hearing him tell me what his pops told him. I'm like, damn,
Here's
my
the
dad
funny
said
part,
similar.
though. If you never listened, you would never have noticed that.
And you know what? You keep hitting on stuff he was telling me. Because I was like, yo, a lot of the stuff he told me, I apply now. At the time, I'm young, young, dumb, full of cum, like L.Ost say. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm young, dumb, full of cum. He like, David, you might want to. I'm like, Dad, check this out. Oh, you don't know what's going on now. Lo and behold, I can't even say 99.9. 100% of the stuff he told me is lining up. He'd also say, when you have a family, this is gonna happen. David, one day you're gonna have a woman, you're gonna understand this. I'm like, Dad, I got women now. He said, no.
I got women now.
Yeah, like, talking to a couple of good-looking women.
What are you talking
my
about?
ego's up, but my brain was still downloading it, and it's like, now I do got a woman, and I'm learning how. Man, people say humble yourself, but to control yourself.
It's like life is like cooking. Do you ever take the chicken out the package and put it on in the oven on the stove on the grill?
I wouldn't. No.
Right.
You got to clean it off.
You probably wouldn't even eat from somebody who did it.
Exactly.
Right? That's life.
Exactly.
You got to take it out. You got to wash it. You got to season it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to sometimes marinate it, depending upon how you cooking it. It's a process that you can't do without.
Exactly.
If you skip the steps, you're gonna get whatever you get when you cook chicken straight out the pack with no seasoning, unwashed.
You're gonna be on that toilet in that doctor's office. So nasty behind. Well, I know some people that do that too, man. My dad never ate at everybody's house.
No.
I would just eat sometimes. You can't do that.
You cannot. You absolutely cannot.
And I learned that. Some people don't. I'm like, hold on. You don't clean your food?
Yes.
I can see maybe if you don't cut off all the feathers. Okay. But you don't clean your chicken. At least rinse it off.
Why you cleaning it if you ain't shaking off the rest of the feathers? Like, what you doing, son?
I'll give you a pass if you have a
I
couple
don't want
feathers.
feathers. I don't want my chicken with a side of feathers.
But if you're not cleaning your stuff, and like I might go overboard. I do the whole baking soda, apple cider vinegar.
I mean, I
whatever,
think that's
got
cool
close,
if
but-
it works for you. Just don't cook for other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Because your system probably used to it.
Exactly.
Mine
Mine's
ain't. Don't do me
not.
dirty.
We don't have an issue.
Don't do me dirty like that, because I might fight you.
Real. Hey, Mal, do me a favor. Pull up that video I sent you on the Instagram. Tonight's show, I'm gonna break this down while Mal pull. I sent it to you on Instagram. The Umar video.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you wanted that.
No, I'm gonna use that. While you pulling that up, I'm gonna break down tonight's topic. It's gonna be Genesis of Anarchy, Dreamland Reboot. Genesis of Anarchy, Dreamland Reboot. I was
What is that? Do tell.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna break it down. I said the show before the last show that we did, Brother Panic passed away. Yeah. And you know, that's one of the people I used to sit back and listen to get, you know, he re-alkaline myself, you know, whatever. But anyway, Genesis of Anarchy. And this is what kind of like whenever I get a chance to meditate, I like to have some knowledge going through my ears. If it ain't jazz or some classical music, I put like a little speech on that I like, whatever. So Genesis of Anarchy is the beginning of change, right? Whenever you have anarchy, if we have anarchy in this room, right? Right now, all of us have certain relationships with each other.
What is anarchy?
I'm gonna get to that. I'm about to tell you. All of us have a relationship in this room, right? If we all cuss each other out, don't even fight. We just, man, F you, and I don't like the way you do this. I don't like the way you look. Them glasses are nice, by the way. But I don't like your glasses. We're gonna be looking at each other different. There's gonna be a change somewhere, much less if we bring it to hands, right? And that, if something does pop off, is because we didn't control our emotions. We're in an uncontrollable environment within ourselves. You see what I'm saying? Anarchy is a whole bunch of things going on with no type of discipline, no type of spirituality, no type of love, you know, no type of really any emotion. People just doing everything and anything.
Okay.
And I think we need to have anarchy within ourselves. We need to have anarchy in this world, in this reality that we're in order to bring in change. So pretty much we need to burn stuff down because we suppress so much. It's so much suppression. It's so much suppression, right? We just, oh, well.
So like the phoenix, we need to burn down so we can rise again.
Exactly. We need to burn down so we can rise again. Even ash has its place when you recycle stuff. You see, even with ash, you have a fossil or a footprint of what was there before. Yeah. You might not have the whole thing, but you got a little something, you know, and not everything burns down in a fire. Like roaches could live through a fire.
Roaches can live through anything.
Exactly.
Roaches can live through chemical warfare.
All of it. So I feel like we need to take, and I'm taking this somewhere. It's time to have a genesis of anarchy within first self. And once we do that, when I say anarchy within self, throw away everything that you think you know. One thing my dad always told me, David, you don't know it all. After I done read my little books, watch my little tapes, you know, I used to like Amos Wilson and Farrakhan and Phil Valentine, C. Freeman L. If anybody want to know some so-called conscious stuff, some of these Barashango, these brothers was saying this stuff back in the 70s and the 80s. That's as far back as I've gone with, like, these are the teachers that I've listened to. You know, Noble Drew Ali, but those are books that you read. But something that you can see concrete on the videotape, on the internet or YouTube or whatever, you can still look this stuff up. So anyway, it's time to throw away everything that we think we know. You see what I'm saying? Get rid of it. And I said dream.
That sounded like Usher, right?
What? Let it burn?
When the feeling ain't the same and your body don't want to.
Yeah.
They keep telling you, that's a lot of the stuff. He talking about a whole different situation. But when the feelings ain't the same, when things have gone through too much, I think you should let it burn.
You gotta let it burn, man. You gotta let it burn. And along with letting it burn, I need us to burn the terminology we use. Burn the way we think. A lot of people now talking about we need a protest, we need a march.
No,
Hey,
we
that's
don't.
over with.
No, we don't.
We've already done it. When we did do it, it had its place. It's time to stop. So we need to
absolutely.
burn a lot of this stuff. Dreamland is your spirit, your conscience, your soul. That within inside you that never does die. Those of us who have them. That's something that is never going away. Your body might wither and stuff might happen to you, but your soul, which is why you have your soul's always with you, which is why you have when Malcolm died and Khalid died and Martin died and all the other people that we don't even know about or talk about died.
Many.
Yes.
Yes.
Those ideas get recycled.
Yes.
Oh, where did it come from?
Ideas belong to the universe.
Exactly. So those people who brought it into the universe is like, oh, dang, someone else thought I didn't. It's time to burn this way of thinking and start getting in touch with our souls. Never die. They carry all the information. This is why stuff just pops up in your head. So dreamland is where you go when you sleep. It tells to be woke, but when you sleep, you go to another place where you can reach for answers, pathways, talk to the ancestors, a complete conversation, no matter how short your dream is. So that's dreamland. So the genesis of
And
anarchy.
that's a state that, for the record, you can be without actually being asleep.
Huh? Yeah.
Depending upon your levels of connection and your ability to meditate, you can get into that
Exactly.
without actually curling up for sleep.
Exactly. So before we jump into that, real quick, I like to have a little something before we go. Let that sit in your head for a minute. I seen a video with Dr. Umar. He was explaining 50 years of hip hop. There we go. Can you play it from the first one?
Let me.
Oh, do your thing. Yeah, I ain't trying to interrupt. My bad. He said some things about hip hop that I previously thought, but he kind of woke it up and he said it in a beautiful way. And it's like, you know what? And then not just to mention, I keep mentioning my dad because it's just.
It's supposed to. It's okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's supposed to.
My dad he would like question. He didn't like a lot of hip hop. So me, I'm listening to like Zero, Swisher House. DMX was in there for a hot minute. Biggie was in there. And I always like Talib, Outkast. These are people outside of Houston, but here in Houston it was K Reno, of course. But he liked K Reno. But Lil O was another one. So I'm listening to these cats. It's like, David, first off, the little stuff that you have tapped into that you do that they talk about, you shouldn't be. And where's this taking your mind? The only people he would listen to would be Outkast. He liked Fat Pat, that one song, but
I just finished watching Dre going to a laundromat to do his laundry the other day.
Andre 3000?
Yeah.
Oh, for real? Oh, snap.
It was cool.
My dad was one of the only ones. We have many contributors to turmoil. We turn and twist God's words. Oh, you about to get it started.
Oh, yes, indeed.
You about to get it started.
Looks like she's
yes, Sister Collins. Oh, yeah, you about to get it started. Yeah.
Right quick. The only way for me to download these videos is I have to make a little noise. Do you mind?
No.
I'm sorry,
you
y'all.
Gotta make a little noise to reboot.
I'm sorry, y'all bear with us.
Let the frequency go.
Mm-hmm.
Bear with us for just a minute. I have to download some videos right quick. We're going to take a short intermission, about 20 or 30 seconds. We'll be right back. While we're on this 20 or 30 second intermission, please share the video all over the world. We want everybody to learn more about this word, anarchy, tonight. Thank you, Miss Rose Collins. Miss Rose Collins is tuned in all the way from Opelousas, Louisiana.
Oh,
y'all,
girl. Please stay on, Rose, Miss Sister Collins, because you
up his alleyway.
You getting in, yeah. You starting.
He need your vibe right now.
Don't go
I
nowhere.
think I saw some of my family in the building. So hey.
What's up, brother Ed? I saw you in there.
Yes. Shout out
to Ja T. I saw. Yeah, how you doing, Sister Ja? Right?
Yep. Javette, yeah.
Ja T.
I see her on here almost every time.
Mr. Ed Campbell.
That's because that's my sister.
Ed Campbell is in the building. Mr. Ed Campbell is in the building. He says,
Ed, I think you changed your number. I sent you a happy birthday thing.
You gotta come to One Love on some of these Saturdays.
I do.
You gotta tune in.
I do. When I'm not doing nothing, I do gotta sit in and listen.
And we also have Mr. Kenneth Wayne Lattimore tuned in. They recently bought a new food truck, y'all. If you're in Katy, Texas,
Congratulations.
Go and
Congrats.
Go and check out Let 'Em Eat Food Truck. It's located at 5222 Barker Cypress Road, Suite 170, Houston, Texas 77084.
What kind of food we got on now?
He cooks. They cook everything.
Okay.
I've seen everything on that truck. Well, it wasn't a truck. It used to be located in a gas station.
Moving on up.
Like in a Chevron. You know how they have the tacos or whatever. Well, they used to have it in a gas station. They moved it into a food truck. So
All right.
graduated. So
Congratulations.
Give us a 20, 30 second.
we're gonna play a song. If that's all right, we're gonna play a song. We want you to listen to the lyrics. We'll be right back on the R.A.U.L.I radio show on Real Talk 100 Radio in about 20 to 30 seconds. Just give me a little time, y'all. We'll be right back.
That's a real group. Heard that group before.
What?
I said that's a real group, Panic of the Disco or something. I never heard of that before.
Oh. You might have heard the song and didn't know it was them.
You can't show no signs of weakness here. Now when you feel like reality is really real, about to speed on interfere. Cause you can't show no signs of weakness here. Cause when you're dreaming in the nightmare, reality is really real.
The trip got me like, boy, you better get up. I know that you fed up, but you cannot let up. You will not die old. You leaving here wet up. The ones you trust the most is probably the setup. They live in facades. You live in the booth. They tell lies. You are the truth. They don't love God, and you are the proof. So if they don't feed you, then heed them a masseuse. As a team, the amphetamines, stick it on a hand-me-downs to some better jeans. Brown, in the block, serving the fish, living the dream. Till your mama in the slippers at the crime scene corridor, open the door, and then your mama screams. Yeah, now your dream is her nightmare. Call me crazy, but I think life's fair. You hear that I'm right there, got me living it up. Bottle after bottle, that is our motto, not giving up. What?
Dreaming in a nightmare. Reality is really reality. Monsters feed on interfere. Cause you can't show no signs of weakness here. Now when you're dreaming in a nightmare, reality is really real. Monsters feed on interfere. Cause you can't show no signs of weakness here. Cause when you're dreaming in a nightmare, reality is really real.
Come up, man. You good? All right. What we got? All right.
Sweet Spanky music.
Uncle Jimmy, H-Rep. I hope y'all heard y'all say, I know Uncle Jimmy. You know that. H-Rep.
All right.
Oh.
Let me get this off the screen for you. We are live on the R.A.U.L.I radio show, everybody. Sorry for the brief interruption. We wanted to take a quick break to make sure everything is set up correctly with the upcoming videos that I.Nnergies and Brooklyn Sun wanted to play. They are queued up and ready to go. Back to the R.A.U.L.I radio show.
Thank you.
Malcolm, your voice is like radio perfect.
I try, man. It took me a long time to get it together, and I got it together. And especially when I heard the lady saying, "Oh, you sound so good," I was like, "Yeah, yeah." But on that note, eventually, you know what I want? I want my own Marco Spoon type show.
Oh boy, I like Marco Spoon.
Brooklyn's not from here. Let me hip you to Marco Spoon. Marco Spoon, back in the day, I don't know what years, but I'm gonna say 80s to maybe 2000 at the latest. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably.
He had a love song, "The Quiet Storm."
Oh yeah.
On
Quiet
Magic,
storms are everything.
on Magic 102,
Okay.
and he would come on and he'd be like he'd have
Marco
music,
Spoon.
he'd have lightning and thunder playing in the
Yeah.
background. Quiet storm.
That's right. Soft and warm.
Soft and warm.
The
Quiet storm. Yeah. So
Yep.
so eventually I want my own right here on Real Talk 100 Radio.
That'll work,
So,
boy. Marco Spooney play all them jams.
That's right.
yes, indeed.
He had the
love
voice
that.
too. I know them women liked him based off his voice alone.
Shout out to the men who like women with those types of voices.
Candy Eastman sounds real good too on the
Yes.
radio.
Yep. I've had the pleasure of meeting her.
Oh, you met her?
Yeah.
I've seen her at a few events.
Yeah.
She looked good too. Her voice is fire. She's still on the radio, isn't she?
Yes.
I listen to the radio like I used to.
Yes. A big part of Magic 102 and a big part of forgive me if I have it wrong, KPFT, I believe.
Okay.
She's with KPFT too.
We got the videos.
Yes, I have one already queued up. I can queue the other ones up right now. It won't take me about 10 seconds a piece.
Y'all listen to. Oh, my bad. What you were saying?
The first video is queued up, ready to go.
All right, cool. Y'all listen to these videos. Some child got abducted, but they didn't do this in slavery. So.
Here we go, everybody. Tell them what they're listening to first.
Dr. Umar is giving his thoughts on the 50 years of hip hop or hip hop itself. So listen to what he got to say, and we're going to discuss it real quick for about 20 minutes. And then we're going to get to the topic and, bang our heads in real quick.
All right, everybody. Here we go. Dr. Umar, whether you love him, whether you hate him, he's making a lot of sense in these videos, y'all.
Don't think about the school. Just listen to the words. Let's not focus on what has or hasn't happened. Let's just focus on the words that he's saying.
Do you agree or disagree? I'll put the phone number at the bottom of the screen in just a minute. Here we go.
A multi-billion-dollar industry. And in 50 years, the hip-hop community hasn't built a single relevant institution for the Black community anywhere. Think about that for a minute. Think about that. Look, Dr. King began his career with the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955. Dr. King was assassinated in 1968. That means Dr. King had 13 years. Look at what he did in 13 years. Let's go to the Black Panther Party. The Black Panther Party was founded in 1966. The revolutionary phase of the Black Panther Party was pretty much over with by 1971. That's 5 or 6 years. And look what the Panthers did in 5 or 6 years. Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, showed up in
video number 2.
A multi-billion-dollar industry. And in 50 years, the hip-hop community hasn't built a single relevant institution for the Black community anywhere. Think about that for a minute. Think about that. Look, Dr. King began his career with the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955. Dr. King was assassinated in 1968. That means Dr. King had 13 years. Look at what he did in 13 years. Let's go to the Black Panther Party. The Black Panther Party was founded in 1966. The revolutionary phase of the Black Panther Party was pretty much over with by 1971. That's 5 or 6 years. And look what the Panthers did in 5 or 6 years. Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, showed up in...
No, we can stop it there. Let's
stop
it. No more.
He was, as we all know, transported. He didn't get assassinated. He had to go back to Jamaica. But he was only over here about 10, 11 years. And he made his presence. We can continue on. Noble Drew Ali. The short time... Nelson Mandela before he got locked up. The short time he was here. Khalid Muhammad, the short time he was here before he got poisoned. We can go on and on. So my question is, I believe he has a valid point. What has hip hop really done in the past, so-called, in the commercialized version of hip hop? What they've been celebrating. What have they really done? We all know they made billions of dollars. Not necessarily the rappers, but the overseers.
What's the question one more time?
What has hip hop done in our community? Because it's always said, oh, well, they're just speaking about, like he said on there, they speak for us. But what are they really saying? What change is it really bringing about? You know what I'm saying? So Brooklyn, I'm gonna pose that to you first. Do you think hip hop has really done anything?
Yes.
Okay, tell me what it is.
So my answer is yes. And I think we spend a lot of time in our community evaluating the different pieces of the puzzle and what it does. And the different pieces of the puzzle only play a part in the picture of the who, the what's we are as a community.
Mm-hmm.
This puzzle piece can't really take a profound look at the other puzzle piece without abandoning its position.
Mm-hmm.
The position that hip hop played, yes, in its inception was great. Um, when it got robbed, raped, and pillaged, like anything else that has transpired on this earth, no.
So what
So
did
the
it do?
answer is twofold. Yes, when it started,
Okay.
and what it did was it brought messaging, it brought consciousness in places and spaces that you probably wouldn't get it. It took some information and filter. First of all, let me say this: when gangster rap came on the scene, if you didn't know then, you'll know now. Real gangsters don't rap.
Hmm.
I think that was a line in a couple of different movies and even a couple of different songs. The ones who are really putting in that level of work are not on rap albums, but their stories were being told. A whole ecosystem was created in that time. The drug dealers took care of those of the dreamers that became rappers and they told their stories. People who live certain lives in certain ways need a storyteller. And rap began telling stories. Everybody needs an outlet. At the age of 10 and 12 and 16, I need to hear my story.
Mm-hmm.
I need to have something to relate to, or most of us during those times would have spontaneously combusted. So it plays a part, but just a puzzle piece part. It's not the end all to be all to our story no more than anything else is. Slavery is not our story, but it's a part of our history.
Mm-hmm.
Rap is not our story, but it is a part of our history. Rap is a whole generation of storytellers that told stories that were happening during that time. You weren't going to hear that from the actual drug dealers because they're not going to pick up the mic and actually rap.
So do you think they told the drug dealer stories or exploited them?
They told the drug dealer stories.
When
it started,
rap.
I'm telling you when it started.
Mm-hmm.
They told conscious stories. I'm from New York. So all of our rappers in the beginning, for the most part, were conscious rappers. And then they told stories. Some had embellishments. You get Slick Rick on the mic to tell stories. He telling you a whole story. He dilly dally ran through a valley, bumped into my homegirl Sally from the valley. Who the fuck is Sally from the valley? He told stories. Storytelling is a part of our history.
Mm-hmm.
Music is a strong part of our history. When you hear a drum beat, oftentimes in our community, you would have known what that meant in a village up into our community. So when you hear a certain sound, it also conveyed messages,
mm-hmm.
because there's also decoding within those messages that happens. So it plays a very significant and profound role, but it plays its puzzle piece role. It is not the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did it do a good job in its transitions? No. Did it sell out? Yes. But would white people say the same thing that happened with the degradation and debauchery that happened with rock and roll? Biting off bats' heads and killing puppies and crazy shit like that? Nobody is evaluating its influence like that on their community. They're not doing that. It is a significant time within our time, and it's just a piece of the puzzle. That's all. we get caught up and wrapped up in every little nook and cranny that we miss the big picture. Because somebody took those puzzle pieces, threw them out, and then threw away the box. So we don't have no clue what the picture is. And I do puzzles, big puzzles. We can't even figure out that we need to start with the frame and then work our way inside. And then you separate and gather and work in groups. You got this group you start building over here, this group you start building over here. There is no one thing.
So you saying that they gave us messages?
They gave us messages. They translated messages.
They translated
they translated a coding, because I mean, I'm not sure if people know. I don't know what y'all know, but the beeper system was a whole thing. Using the telephone, the payphone was a whole situation. There was conversation in every single bit of that, and also transposed into rap and hip hop. In those stories, there are lines between the lines, but they told the stories of people who couldn't tell their stories no more. It's like being a ghostwriter. They ghost wrote real people living hard lives or living these types of lives. They transposed those stories, and some of them. Then there was conscious rap, and then there was rappers, like I said, like Slick Rick, who just told stories that entertained you and entertained you well, and you had a good time, and you got out there and you danced. So all of it can't be all wrapped up into the same thing. Again, did it transition well? Hell no, it didn't. Because it could have elevated into something else, but it sold out, like most things.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. I kind of agree with Umar on the side of like he said, Marcus Garvey. Right now, you got people still trying to do what he did, or anybody, Elijah, Malcolm. Rap is a culture, a person's life history, a collective of time. Like I said, I agree with that. I think they did tell certain stories, but I think a lot of the rappers, especially the gangster rappers, exploited certain stories. Like, for example, I know this is more a recent person, Rick Ross. He stole that man's real name, and now he can't even use his real name. Because when he wrote his book, he was at my homeboy's barbershop. He was, kind of saying, "Yeah, I can't even use my real name." So I think a lot of these rappers. I think some of the rappers who spit some of the gangster stuff. Now you had a lot of them, because I remember back in the day, Kane, Rakim, Sermon, or EPMD, whoever, or when he was by himself, Eric Sermon and them, they was like, man, we don't need to be doing this gangster rap.
But you had people like Poor Righteous Teachers.
Yeah, you had them
like
that was.
You had so many.
You got a lot of people.
Rakim that spit.
I do. Yeah.
Fire.
You had a lot of them that was spitting fire. That's why I say I agree with what you're saying. But I do think it should be more of a. I don't think that, and I'm not saying none of them do this. It didn't give. I think we should have more set. I think a lot of it was taken away. I think it was commercialized to the point where now a Big Daddy Kane, which was one of my favorites, can't hop on a track whenever he wants to, because I'm not saying he can't, but it doesn't belong to us. A lot of the rap we know now was pushed by white folks, was pushed by big time companies, and I do think that if you have
but
something
that's not
like,
but it does belong to us, because
you
and I don't listen to that.
We might not, but rap. When you think about rap, when somebody wants to go rap in the underground rap scene, when they're trying to get above ground, they don't go to underground people. They're trying to get with Sony or whomever to get paid to make a living. No matter what they have to do to get that living, whether they sell out or not, they're trying to go to them.
Well, they like a leprechaun chasing the bag. But what I'm saying is,
well, even like I'm saying, to make a living, we don't own anything. Like even,
but there's still some people who really still are on that level.
What you mean?
They still conscious rap. They do underground, and the like minds flow with each other on that.
No, I'm
like
not saying they don't.
Time.
Yeah. Believe me, I do. I still listen to my K-Reno.
That commercial is.
But the commercial stuff is what a lot of people have to use, or what's getting promoted. So, for example, if somebody come over here from Africa, they'll hear Tupac before they hear Kane. They'll hear Biggie before they hear like K-Reno or somebody like that. unless you go, especially
So now what you're
especially
talking
back.
about is not the art or the artist. You're talking about the control media.
That's what I'm saying. What they celebrated, the 50 years of hip hop, what they were celebrating, that's what I'm talking about. That right there. So the business of rap, we don't own it because whenever, first off, the name rap, it wasn't even called that before. You know what I'm saying? And even before hip hop, we was doing that stuff on our porches. So it's like they took it and commercialized it, and I don't think we held down enough power. And I'm not saying no one tried to.
So what is the difference between? For me, the blueprint is still the same. What's the difference between that and anything else that has ever anything we ever owned, we ever did that has been hoodwinked and bamboozled? What's the difference?
The difference, like how it got hoodwinked, or
no? What's the difference? The blueprint. So the people who are on that have been and always will be, right? We will always. There will always be that move made in disenfranchisement. What's the difference?
The difference between rap and us, if you're looking for a conscious, so-called Pan-African or whatever, you'll see Malcolm talking bad about white folk or whoever, not for black people. You can type that in right now, even commercialized. You can type in Malcolm, he's gonna give you the business. You can type in Martin, if you go find a lot of his stuff, he's gonna give you the business. You can type in Marcus Garvey. He didn't even like his own race. He gonna give you the business. When it comes to rap, we still, the so-called conscience of the black, we still have the Panthers. People still like, man, we don't mess with these white folks. I'm like, they'll compare you to the Panthers. But rap, they own, like I said, you'll hear about Tupac or anybody else before you'll hear about they've kind of separated us. Music, like, okay, you had the Chitlin circuit. You sent me something about amusement parks which I've talked about this before, where we used to go around and perform. That was our music at its most purest. You know what I'm saying? Before it got cut, put stuff in there. We don't have that no more. It's like totally. It's been the 50 years they celebrating. We don't have that no more, because we used to go to our amusement parks, our clubs, stuff that we had, perform, draw our people into there. Now a lot of these rappers, shout out to K Reno, he just had his album drop. That still go to places. Yeah, he just has the album drop. It was dope. A lot of these rappers now that get the attention, the 50 years that they're talking about, they haven't set nothing up. You still got to go to that higher up company to get in. And even if you use, like for right now, somebody that has money can use somebody else's stuff down here and they don't have to pay nothing.
So do we know? So there, for everything to me, there's a duality of responsibility. We don't know what has been tried. I tell you what we do know, though. We do know the blueprint. We do know there are always moves made to box those strides out, to plummet those efforts.
Yeah.
Right? To thwart any type of growth.
Yeah.
So we know that for sure. We don't know everything that's done behind the scenes. And the music business is one of the people won't even speak on certain people like me and you, whatever, out of fear of what that's going to bring.
Exactly.
So I'm saying we gotta stop this. To take something, no matter how bright the light is or how dim the light is, that we have constructed and done, and rip it apart because it wasn't done in a way that we thought best, or it wasn't done at the highest height of where it could have been. Knowing the way in which the blueprint works to disenfranchise that, we're doing ourselves a disservice.
I got him.
What's up? We got brother Tubi the Kid.
I got him.
DA the Kid. You said you got it?
I got him. I put that hook in the water and he called.
What's up, brother? Tell us where you calling from and what you got to say.
Yo, this Tubby the Kid.
Tubby,
the one and only. Yeah. I'm calling from work, man, but I just briefly chimed in with y'all, man, and I guess the question is posed is hip hop doing anything for the community and like the state of hip hop right now is the question. I'm trying to
saying they had the anniversary. So the last 50 years what is hip hop produced in the community that we could use? Is what I'm saying. I'm saying that they don't really have anything. What's your thoughts on that?
So, to an extent, what you're saying, from what I tuned in, because like I said, I'm at work, man. I kind of just stepped out and I caught like the ass end of what y'all saying, but it's not. Hip hop is in a good state right now, and I say that only because even myself, I can say that hip hop and being a musical artist, man, has created opportunities for me that I wouldn't have seen myself have had I took another path. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just me. If you look into it, if you look at the numbers right now, actually hip hop has and is producing some of the most successful self-made millionaires in its time and era, bro. So I mean, the mission started out for us to be culturally aware, you know, be able to express ourselves and acknowledge, you know, what we come from as far as the struggle and whatnot. But it hasn't, as far as mainstream, yeah, we could say that it deterred from the original, you know, path of what it was supposed to be. But I can't just flush it all out and say, nah, it hasn't. You know what I'm saying? The state of where we're at right now, bro. And like I say, do your research and run some numbers, bro. But hip hop is producing at this time some of the most prestigious, you know what I'm saying, millionaires, self-made millionaires. And that's not just the hip hop. It's, you know, people are branching out, clothing lines, podcasts, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I really just wanted to throw it in there that listen to some of KRS-One's lectures, bro.
Oh yeah,
on hip hop, okay? Because you know, if you know what you know, he's a professor. You know what I'm saying? For him to be able to be a scholar in hip hop and be able to say that part of the game is something that he's able to be successful at, and you know, able to teach lectures in colleges, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is a course that you could take in college. So that in itself speaks for where and what hip hop has done for the community. Now it doesn't say what the limitation on what it can do. You feel what I'm saying? But I think we're getting the wrong picture with what we're being fed in the mainstream. You know what I'm saying? That has its place. You feel what I'm saying? And I know you hit a little bit on like the underground not being, you know, the light not being shown on the underground and whatnot, bro. But it's people like, you know, where you're at right now, bro. Real Talk 100 Radio and the little guys, so to speak, that are trying to band together and keep it alive. You dig what I'm saying?
No, I dig that. No, I agree with everything you said. Because Bun B got a college class too.
So so KRS-One is one of my favorites, but he's always been a teacher. He taught while in his lyrics he was teaching, and yes,
correct.
This genre of music, yeah, it's creating a lot of millionaires, but to the detriment of the community. So that's where he was coming from with the question. In the 50 years, what has it done? And what has it done is give a portal to me of release for different groups of children, honestly, because we're the men who listen to it. Most of our adults don't like it, whichever generation that's in. But hasn't elevated in the same way. And hip hop doesn't just talk about struggle. Hip hop tells story. Hip hop is a tight verse over a dope beat.
You know what?
It's a storyteller.
Correct. And I totally agree with what you said. So in the end, what we're looking at, like we say with the millionaires, is the lack of accountability and responsibility that comes with you having that type of money and power. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay.
it's more so your choice, the choices that you make. And I'll deter from hip hop a little bit right now and speak from a more personal, level as far as us, as a people, as Black people, becoming successful and having that type of money and power. I'm very close friends with a gentleman that played for the he played for the Cleveland Browns and he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers at one point. This is my classmate. This is my brother. You feel what I'm saying? So just imagine having somebody that closely tied into you that comes from a certain struggle, a certain era, and then all of a sudden I wake up and I got $1 million in my account. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of us don't know how to go about having that type of control, having that type of money in our hands. You know what I'm saying? And it's all, it's all systematic. It's been set up like that for us to get the ball and fumble. You see that metaphor? He played football. Anyway.
Go ahead.
No, but that was a bar right there, though. Y'all be real.
Right. Right
that
now,
was a bar.
What's going on?
you got the tight verse. Now you just need to drop that dope beat.
You see, that's how it's supposed to work. But like I'm saying, it's a lot of times it's not just us, going out here and purposely, putting out things that are detrimental to the society. You dig what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's the fact that we don't know how to handle certain situations and being, on that level to be seen as leaders and, the ones who are supposed to be out here leading our people, to more righteous things. Y'all, hold on one second.
Not everybody is meant to lead our people.
Very true.
That's the thing, right?
Very
Everybody has a position to play, and there's only two positions. There's good and evil. You're not required. Nobody owes us that. Nobody owes to be successful and come back and do anything for us. And oftentimes they do become successful and try to help. And then you know what happens? We, on the other end, make them a crutch. Don't worry about it. He got it. She got it. And at some point, you have to remove yourself from that. Because again, there's a duality of responsibility on both our parts. If I know someone who is helping me, who made it, what am I doing to position myself and take the best advantage of that situation to elevate myself? Or am I just still sitting in my same position and just receiving the quote unquote handout versus receiving it as a hand up and making something of it out of it? Because I can't be him. I always say this with Mike Vick. All of them Negroes who was rolling with him, who let him take the fall for that dog fight, and he's the only one who was the money man in that shit, was dead ass wrong. You stupid. You let your breadwinner get caught up. One of y'all who wasn't doing nothing could have took it.
For real.
That's it's deep.
His boy.
It's deep what you're saying, because like I say, I spoke from personal experience with one of my good friends being in the NFL. That's the perfect example of pretty much what happened with this guy. You feel what I'm saying? There were too many around him that wasn't that positive influence, and the ones who were trying to be, the ones to get in his ear, the other ones had already, took over his mind, and that's what he was on. Going to the strip club every night and, buying unnecessary frivolous things, you dig what I'm saying, instead of investing and putting it back not only into the community but into itself, so it could grow tenfold. So that's what a lot of us are on, is like, for the fact that we didn't have anything, we want to get everything all at once instead of being strategic and placing placing our money in places to further our success, so we can have residual income and build for our people.
And being patient, right? Because you didn't have it before, so it's not going to happen overnight. But which is why most people, even down to the drug dealer, have to separate themselves, because when you stay around, you breed envy. And once you breed envy, somebody is plotting your demise.
I feel what y'all, I feel what y'all saying though with the message. I do think when people listen to some of these rappers back in the day, like right now when I listen to them, I get nostalgia. When some of the youngsters listening to them, they'll learn, oh, they were doing this. This is what it was about. So in that aspect, just downloading, like listening to you say it.
And for nothing else, hip hop was and will always be an outlet for whatever that generation is.
I do believe that music is always an outlet. Coltrane used to play
Most certainly
the sax, not the trumpet, the sax, the clarinet. Miles Davis played everything. So did Prince. So I do believe that was I do believe music is an outlet for us. Now I do agree with that, and I do agree that if you do know hip hop pretty good, you can get you a job somewhere in college where you can teach. Because Bun B does, I think at TSU or U of H.
And then again, what has all the other genres of music done for their communities?
Yeah, you know what?
Kurt Cobain being the lead ringer for most people going around and drugging themselves until they commit suicide probably isn't a good influence.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care about the other communities. To be honest, let them do.
I don't care either, but I don't care either. But I'm just saying, if this is entertainment, and if they chose to be the entertainer that gives back, helps, does whatever, fine. If they chose not to, that's fine as well. And when hip hop first started, it was about conscious music. It told a lot of stories. It dropped a lot of jewels and gems. And at the end of
even the gangster rap, you know what I'm saying, so to speak. You know, and that's a perfect point that you're making. You know, even gangster rap wasn't to you know, inspire you to be gangster. Nah, we was telling our stories in order to lead you out of destruction. You know?
Now that's if you want to be led, because what we go back to is still a mindset, as you just demonstrated. You could be as rich as the richest, as poor as the poor, but if your mindset ain't right, you gonna get rich, like they talk about the lottery winners all the time, and you're gonna be poor again real quick. Because you're not set up in your mind, and that's what he said. You young, you don't know what to do to this stuff, and everybody has their hand out, but nobody has a hand to lend you, to secure you, to get you to a place where you can grow. If you planted a seed in the dirt and everybody kept walking on it, it don't matter that you planted it.
Yeah.
It never has it doesn't have where to go. It's being stomped out every time somebody keeps walking over it.
Bars.
Thank you.
Yo, Rose is getting me crunk over here.
Yeah.
For
to Tubby the Kid,
hey, I'm with it.
To Tubby the Kid and everybody else who's tuned in, just to make sure we're all on the same page, Tubby, to start the show tonight, I don't know if you've been on Instagram, but Dr. Umar said something relating to this topic, and he was basically saying hip hop has not created any supermarkets, any hospitals, any schools for the children. So that's where our panel got this question from. Has hip hop done anything for the community? That's really where he was going with the I almost called you Dr. Umar. That's where
I'm a doctor.
That's where Dr. N.R. and Brooklyn got this topic from. So that's what we're asking. And
cool.
I kind of agree. I'm straddling the fence on purpose because she's Brooklyn's right. You know, we don't ask these questions. You know, Dr. Umar doesn't ask these questions about rock and roll, the rock and roll genre of music, the country genre of music, but we're asking it about our community. So I'm straddling the fence because Umar is only concerned with our community.
Well, he should be.
Yeah, I am. I'm only worried about our community.
I am too. But my point was, this is a genre of music. Don't nobody owe us that. At the end of the day, nobody owes us that. Whatever it is that we would like to do with our community, for one,
no, he's still there.
We need to put that together and go to them.
Oh, we about to get
and see how many of those artists either help us or don't. How many times have those things happened? So, and we don't know the background
So,
to it. We can't see anything.
Yeah, because that's not being broadcasted. That part right there is not what's being broadcast.
I gotta
That
give
part.
a shout out to Slim Thug because even when he wasn't big, he stayed in Studewood and Acres home doing something. So Slim Thug has always been a community person. K Reno the same way.
Ludacris, shout out to him. He's all in the ATL. He has always, from the time he was on radio and still to this day, been a part. There's so many.
MC Hammer's another one.
Right. Look, I mean, please, MC Hammer is the one.
He went broke trying to help everybody. So
which is a testimony and a lesson all in of itself, because you can't do that either.
Yeah, you can't. You can't build a kingdom going broke. So yeah, don't get it twisted. I know who've been doing stuff because them the ones that I'm gonna roll with no matter what.
But it's a lot of people who do things and don't put their name on it, and they don't broadcast it. That's not what they.
There you go. That part right there.
I agree with that. And I look up them ones.
I'm gonna have to be like the housewives. Where the receipts at, bro? You need to show me the receipts that's not happening just because you can't see it.
Chameleonaire is another one. He's invested in a lot of businesses that people don't know about, like as a silent, and you won't know unless you know.
And then are we counting in their family and friends? Because you're never gonna see that televised, that they may have helped with a business that failed or money here, money there to do something, and they did, so they can do something for the community, and they didn't. How do we know that? A lot of stars fund causes, just like during the times of Black Panthers, Aretha, all of them put money into that. So we going back.
Aretha did. What's my boy name? Sam Cooke.
A whole bunch of them.
A lot of them. What's my Belafonte?
And I believe a whole bunch have done the same thing.
That's true.
But it's not talked about. That's why we got to be careful with this.
So to those, I was discussing just the 50 years, but y'all are right. There has been a lot of people, which I always give props to. Those who I've seen personally, Slim Thug, and I haven't seen, but I've seen the outcome. Mm-hmm. Slim Thug's built up house where people can go into, and he don't. To this day, he won't post it. The only reason I know is because I seen it myself in the neighborhoods in Acres Home and Studewood. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's another
thing.
Yeah.
With each local rapper and those people in that we would have to talk to them.
They do. No, there's a lot of people out here who do
That's
stuff.
what I'm saying. Like, and like from where all these rappers come from, we would have to go to where they from to see if anything has popped off in that way to really know.
On that same token, Slim Thug never went big. Even. I mean, he went big, but he never went all the way in there.
He don't have to, because some don't. Like most of the people that are really dope, you never hear about because they don't sell themselves out to the industry.
True. Yes, and that's on
everything.
So yeah.
And a part of selling yourself out to the industry is not only your booty hole, but it's also
hold on, Silky Red or whatever your name is. What was the name?
Sukiana?
No, the one that's talking about looking do the whole. What's her name? Tell me.
The girl that sing.
It's a
that's Suki.
That they was talking about for a long time.
That's Suki. Suki Red on the same thing too.
I think it's too. Yeah.
Yeah. We got on it on the show one day, man. We was talking about Sukiana.
That's a singer.
That right there is totally the wrong influence to have on anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's kind of where we at now with a whole bunch of this stuff. But here's the thing: I'm gonna take it to one rapper and say "Can't Knock the Hustle." That's from my time, and I'm gonna take it to this current time and say there's layers to this shit. So,
no, that's true.
We there's a lot to what you choose to do, and what you choose to do as an individual. You don't realize how it affects people down the line. You're only focused on yourself, and when you have not, you know not, so you probably cannot.
Exactly. So and what you said sums up everything that I was originally saying when I got on this phone. Like that hits it right. You know, the nail, the hammer on the nail. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's us on a personal level having to be held accountable and responsible for the influence that we're gonna have on the generations to come. Yeah. You know, and a lot of us is not. We're not taking into accountability and taking it into, just being serious about what we're doing and what we're saying having an influence on the next person.
I dig that.
You know,
how you say your name again?
Say that again.
Say how you say it. It's
Tubby the Kid.
Tubby the Kid.
Oh, I'm Tubby, DAKIDD. The kid stands for dreams and knowledge and power, drive and determination.
Get the fuck off the phone. Get the fuck off the phone, man. That shit is dope.
I'm sure
dope.
We definitely have appreciated you so much for calling in with us. I'm looking at Miss Rose. She is doing it, man. I'm
about to get the Rose.
Your comments, baby. I'm appreciate your comments, sister. And I appreciate you joining us today, brother.
Yeah,
and
man.
I'm not mad at that brother for that video. I feel, but condemning that whole situation, it's not a good way to go about that. I think there's a way to address it, but not like that.
Not like that.
Right. Hey, look, Malcolm.
Tubby. Yes, Tubby.
Malcolm.
Yes,
I think I have something that sums up all of this. I sent you a song way back. It's called Evolution or Revolution, bro. If you got that track, I don't care if you play it on the show, but before y'all leave there, man, y'all check that out, man, and just listen to what I'm on.
Hey, Tom, do me a favor, Malcolm. Post my stuff.
When he coming up here?
Yeah, are you in Houston?
Nah, I live in Conroe, man, but I can be in Houston in a blink of an eye. You know, whenever y'all want to set it up.
Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on Instagram. Send me the song, and we'll schedule something up here.
Hey, man, for sure, man.
You know,
like I say, man, if Malcolm got it there right now. Look, man, when y'all finish with the show or whatever, bro, y'all give it a listen. Because I promise you, it's right on topic with what we talking about right now. I wrote it in that spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right, I got you. I'm gonna listen to it, and then I'm gonna be in touch. Hit me up. It's N.R.Z 8556.
Got you. I think I already follow you, bro. If I'm not mistaken,
I'm gonna look it up. I might follow you already too.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, man, but let me get back to work, man. I just wanted to chime in. You know, sharpen iron with y'all. You know, drop some jewels and get in there because that's my topic right there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hit on something that's near and dear to my heart. I appreciate y'all even allow me to speak and voice my opinion on whatever. Y'all hold it down, man. Peace and blessings and love all around. Malcolm, you know what it is.
Yes, sir.
Much appreciated. Thank you for joining us tonight.
All right, man. Y'all hold it down.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right. We have some interaction up in here.
Yeah.
In the chat with our people. Thank you so much for submitting your words of wisdom, your 2 cents, your 5 cents, your 6 pence. We appreciate it all day. Thank you for your support. I see my family here. Hey, Chief.
All right. I'm ready to get on this. Go live.
Work for Source, A.Nd, a famous Louisiana hip hop mogul. Who he? Why he didn't put more? I didn't see the rest.
That's all he put.
Okay.
So check this out, man. The topic of the show. Oh shit! I did the wrong thing.
Yep, you got some more.
The topic of the show. What we're gonna do is this is how we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask you some questions.
All right. Bet.
And I want you to give me your answers. And
the real ones, the fake ones, you need.
No. If it's fake, you gotta leave. Yeah, I know. Give me the answers.
Wait, whoa! You got a Cuban. You got a Cuban better than that, man. I got the real thing for you, man. What did she say?
The real ones.
Do you know this song? Huh? Out the real ones, the fake ones. You need a minute to think. Peace out, the Brooklyn. You don't know that? Who that is? Chirac.
Yes, I know who that is, but I'm trying to hit the sound effects for it.
Yes. Oh, snap. You see that? See how smooth I just
throw it in? I didn't
plagiarize. You see how smooth I plagiarize other people's lyrics?
Yo, Chubb Rock was dope.
Is
man,
dope.
Yeah, he still. I didn't even know he was still doing it.
Yes.
You gonna make me go on a Chubb?
He
was so smooth when he was rap, man. Dude. Oh, hey, you got me now. You okay? Get it. Hey, I'm ready to freestyle now.
I love my little toy.
He's having
Yo.
way too much fun, y'all. He is like a kid that we just dropped off at Disney. He's having way too much fun.
Yeah.
So check it, y'all.
What's this Q&A?
This is what we're gonna do. The name of the show, Genesis of Anarchy, Dreamland Reboot. I'm gonna ask some questions real quick, right? And then you tell me your answer, and then I'm about to just really blow up. For some of us is already thinking like this, so it's not gonna be a blow up. It's gonna be a reminder or a recourse, whatever. So this is what I want to do. First question I'm gonna ask you. This is the religion part, right? Now this is what I'm doing the Dreamland Reboot and the Genesis of Anarchy. Brooklyn.
Yes.
She said yes. You sound like an old country girl. Yes.
Yes.
But what is God to you, or Allah, or whatever? What is God to you? What is God to you? And after you answer that, what is God to you? Let's start right there.
God, the big G, is God in me and the God outside of me. God is a higher elevation, both internally and externally.
Okay.
God is not defined by religion.
Okay. What does God do for you?
Everything. God does everything for me in concert. We are in a relationship. We are in a holy trinity. We talk, we walk. There are things that I have experienced in my life that are actual miracles that I won't ever be able to deny God. I literally have my whole life saved multiple times, like in real time. So that's what it is to me. It's in me and outside of me. It can be as big as me or bigger than me. But it is a true living God.
What do you think God is? I mean, Malcolm, what do you think what is God to you?
Ooh-wee. You are. I'm not proud to say it, but I'm not as spiritually mature as I should be.
No.
So I'm going to.
It's not even that like that.
I don't even like touching on it though. That's why I said that disclaimer before I even answered.
Okay.
God is. I don't like touching on this at all because I'm not spiritually mature. But
Malcolm, you are spiritually mature.
No,
man.
I'm not. No, not
the fact that you acknowledge you don't like touching on it lets me know that you have some kind of conscience to what you're thinking.
I grew up in the church.
Yeah,
but that doesn't.
I don't like when you down yourself.
I appreciate it. I just try to keep it real, man.
Malcolm doesn't want to give the wrong answer, but let's let him know, family. There ain't no wrong.
There we go.
Okay.
It's yours.
Okay.
It's your answer.
There we go.
Exactly. God is the main influencer in the world. God is love. God is honor. God is hope. God is blessings. I'm just trying to keep it basic because I don't want to. Like she said, I don't want to say the wrong thing because
there's no wrong answer.
There's no wrong answer because it's to you.
Yeah.
Okay. I just told you what he is to me. What anybody else thinks and their experiences, I can only tell you based on my experiences.
Yes, ma'am.
I can't tell you and you can only tell us based on your experiences.
Based on my experience.
That's one of the problems. Somebody wants to give us a God, you can't do that. Right. I gotta have it for myself.
Yes.
It gotta mean something to me.
Definitely. Sister Collins said God is love.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Is she in Houston?
No, that's the one from Opelousas.
Opelousas did say that. You might need to come to Houston.
Rose Collins
she need to come to Houston.
Rose Collins is tuned in all the way from Opelousas, Louisiana. Y'all, please share the video all over the world. This is the R.A.U.L.I radio show on Real Talk 100 Radio, y'all. Right now the topic is anarchy, and we're about to get into it. I'll share the flyer right now as we get back to N.Y. and Brooklyn. Y'all share the video all over the world and feel free to call in on topic. Before I hand the microphone back to N.Y., we had one comment that came up right here, and that was Chief. You can be spiritually mature, not matured before.
Okay.
Y'all know what he's talking about?
What's he talking about?
Ask him to tell y'all.
Chief, you want to drop some more on that? You can.
You can be spiritually mature,
But not
not
before.
matured before.
I really like his picture. It reminds me of that Marcus
Oh
Garvey
my
picture when he
gosh!
was rolling
I
around.
forgot to bring my brother's book with me tonight.
Uh-oh.
Every
be
time
back.
I see him,
I'll
like
be back Tuesday. I got my book.
that
My
he
brother
has.
is an official published author. I got my hardcover book, and I will bring it next week.
Chief on here?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I left.
Absolutely.
Disregard to before my phone is trying to hear the conversation.
Oh.
Shit, I understand that. So right now we got 4 definitions of God. God exists above you. I mean, externally,
me.
internally,
Yeah.
and can
above
be
me.
you or more than you.
Yes.
To you, God was what again?
God
Love.
is love. God is hope. God is guidance.
The all-time. Okay. And Rose Collins, I left Houston 4 years ago. Damn it, I wish I would have known you 4 years ago. And Sister Rose Collins said God is love. So we got 4 definitions of God, right? There we go.
Sure, right.
Keep that right there. What is your religion?
I don't have a particular religion.
What about you? Do you have a particular religion?
I've been Baptist my whole life.
You've been Baptist your whole life?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Great. Now, give me, y'all keep all these definitions in mind. Give me your idea of, and I hate using these words, but for the sake of the conversation, what is Black power to you?
Jati, it's time for you to go to bed. It's time for go. Jati,
She said those drawers are
time for
always
Jati
messing
to
up.
go to bed.
Because they are. I swear. I told y'all. I gave y'all an example when I'm on call on Zoom with my sisters, man. I got to jumble it up and talk real crazy, and then the line clears. But anyway, so
Rose Collins is Catholic. Okay.
Black power is a power that is greater than our understanding.
Okay.
Say it again one more time, Brooklyn.
Black power is a power that's greater than our understanding. And it's greater than it'll stay greater than our understanding until we come together. So we'll experience it in a lot of different ways, but we'll just be a piece of that puzzle.
Okay. Ma, what about you? What's Black power to you?
Black power to me is.
You see what he said that picture was from?
Yeah, I just wrote it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll see that stuff in the book.
I think Brooklyn already said it. Black power to me is the power that resides when the power that presents itself only when there's unity.
Okay.
I think I worded that how I wanted to, but there is no. To me, Black power does not exist if there's no unity.
Okay. So I'm asking these questions, right? For the last couple of weeks, more than a couple of weeks, I've been invited to groups, conference calls, internet calls, and whatever people conjure at or join at and talk. The teaching of our men to love their wives to love their wives like Christ loves the church. Unity, unbroken homes of triumph. There we go. So everybody, look, we got 3 different things going on here. So this is the genesis of anarchy. With the people who I've talked to, it's nothing but Black women and a few men, a couple men who, because I don't really go anywhere else or would even give my time to anything else, right? Who will invite me on these things, right? So I haven't had as much time as I could, but I might sit in for like 15, 20 minutes, get a feel, but then mostly I'm like doing something. Anyway, this is my genesis of anarchy, right here. I asked, what is God to you? I think that, I don't even think, I know some of us will hop on this God bandwagon, right? And I think it's been given to us, which is why we have so many definitions, and we don't realize the definition within the definition. I knew everybody was going to give a different answer. And I mean, anybody would know. I'm not like some psychic or anything. But anyway, yeah, I hate to make it sound like I just know this crap. 'Cause I
No,
don't,
of
but I'm just
course.
saying.
From an intellectual perspective,
Yeah.
psychologically, of course.
Yeah, everybody's gonna say something different.
Yeah.
Even if if everybody's a Christian, they all gonna have a different definitions of God. So
Absolutely.
I'm not claiming to be anyway. So my point is, the reason why I do this show is so we can get to that next level. When we give our definitions of God, we get so caught up on the definition that we don't focus on the purpose. Not only do we get so caught up on the definition, we don't exercise what we believe God is.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
That's very true.
C. Freeman L. gives his definition as generator, operator, and destroyer. An acronym that he created for God. Generator, operator, and destroyer. Within self.
Oh.
Within yourself, you are a generator, an operator, and a destroyer. Right? Black power is knowing that out of darkness comes light and light. There we go. My definition of God, just to give my definition to throw an extra thing out, is it's an energy. And it is what it is. Which is why if you go to if you listen to the Klan, they'll tell you that God said no black people should be here. We should be slaves. And I think one of the main reasons why we have such different definitions, first off, we base everything off 3 books, right? And this goes across the world. The Bible, 4 books. The Bible, no, 3. The Bible, the Quran, and the Geda. Which the Bible comes from the Quran, and the Geda is more of a Buddha, pretty much. Lord Krishna, and they all have their different versions of that, but it all comes from the Geda, right? And when you say unity, all 3 of y'all said unity when we come together. Let's break this up. Black folks, we got to stop sitting over here saying that we got some God that's greater than us or that's in us, and we're sitting in this position, right? We got to start the book. That book, the Bible, is clear, no gray, white. He holds us accountable as he should. Okay, I like that. I think that we got to stop, whether you're a Baptist, Methodist, Catholic, spiritualist, Buddha. I think that we spend so much time quoting and preaching and making it seem like God is this beautiful thing and not enough doing. In the words of C. Freeman L., or even in the words of Jesus, how many of us are willing to be sacrificed on the cross to get to that next level? How many of us are willing to take control to be God, to be like, there's no such thing as white supremacy because I am supreme? When is enough enough? When are we going to become gods and say, yo, there's not going to be any more police brutality today? I'm going to call my fellow gods and get rid of it. I say that because I was on one of these conversations and I didn't hear everything, so forgive me, sister. I'm not dogging nobody. I'm on, and it matched with other conversations I had when I talk. What's our outcome? When I go to y'all's groups and sit there and we talking and having food and laughing and joking and hugging and doing all this other stuff, to whom are we talking to? What is the outcome of all this? And I think we don't focus on the outcome. We talk because it feels good. And we got to step out of this comfort zone and start to create our own zone. And here goes, I'm going to say this and I'm going to let y'all talk right quick. Not right quick, but I'm going to let you talk. But in order to do that, I say we need to start creating our own God. Even if you believe in the different Orishas and Kunla Kunlu, the different ways you say it. I forgot, I think that's Swahili or something. But that was one of the favorite things I heard. I think it was in the African told me Kunla Kunlu. I love the way she said that. But anyway, no matter what you call it, him or her, whatever gender you give it, we got to stop praying to something powerful and being weak ourselves. So my solution to that is to start creating your God and creating your religion. Because like I said, anarchy, get rid of everything you know. We know the Bible.
Isn't that paganism?
You can call it whatever you want. But guess what? We all believe in paganism because we all define God in different ways. So Your God is your paganism, your religion. Your God is your religion. Her God is her religion. So according to that, then we're all pagans. We all have different pictures of God, especially when we step out of what we was taught. We all got different pictures of God.
She said something very good, but when you get to
that's the picture. Oh,
no.
I saw that.
No, not that. It was something else that he just had up a few minutes ago. But go ahead and finish.
But yeah, we got to start creating our own gods that work for us. Because although I do believe struggle is a beautiful thing and we can learn from it, I think that we got to start controlling our own spirituality. And no matter what we believe in, whether it's voodoo, whatever it is, we got to create something new. And I think the reason why we stuck in these certain predicaments is because we're stuck on old knowledge. So we got to start giving our God a different name. We got to start drawing our own pictures of God and what we think God looks like. We got to start creating our own religions and having our own rules. Like you say all the time, your story is nothing but a story in the Bible. So you need to put your story in there. I need to put my story. You can put your story in there so we can all learn from it and create.
There's a book of Brooklyn. There's a book of Zoom.
Exactly.
Book of Malcolm.
And I think we need to start taking that
testimony
more serious. I think we got to get rid of what we know. Jesus, Moses, Buddha, all of them. Yeah, Jesus. What's the what he was? Caesar Borgia. I know all y'all stuff. Whatever you want to call it, or what it used to be called, whatever. What was another one they called it before? Jesus the Christ. I done been around seminary people. Anyway, the point is, I think we got to do away with that and start creating our own and having a new lingo. Because as we all know, look up Sister Yafa Bay. She explains it the most. The English language is a spell. And what we say, yeah, exactly. And what we say could turn us into that. You know what I'm saying? So we got to redo it all. Thoughts, anybody?
So words themselves are spell work. I'm not sure if everybody is familiar with when the slaves were brought here and the women's mouths were caged. Because words themselves are spell work, depending upon the alchemy and the way in which you choose to use those words. So absolutely everything that we say is important. The problem is we keep putting all these boxes around what we know. I was afforded the opportunity to experience many religions when I was growing up in Brooklyn. To me, how I see it is all of us sitting here, Southerners, Northerners, long hair, short hair, curly hair, dark skin, white, lighter skin, whatever, slanted eyes, big open eyes, different color eyes. No matter what, we're all going to create something that speaks to us. That's how all these things to me came to be in the first place. We create things that speak to us for whatever the hemisphere, the place and space that we dwell in, believe. One person takes charge and leads that charge. And we began to formulate in that way. There are sheep that can be herded into a direction, and then there are others that lead. It's always going to be that way. Everybody can't be an MF entrepreneur. Who's going to come to work? If there's work to be done and everybody's an entrepreneur in their own business, everybody can't have a car. Where are we going to fit everybody on the road? Everybody can't go to work from 9 to 5. There is not a singular thing. It's just all versions of the same thing, according to how we receive information. See, truth is mind-blowing, and it can fuck you up terribly. So how you choose to digest, how you choose to eat your steak and how I choose to eat mine could be very well according to how my digestive system works. Or maybe I don't choose to eat steak because I wouldn't be able to digest it. Whatever the case may be, but that doesn't mean I don't eat food. That doesn't mean I don't eat meat. We are afraid of ourselves, first of all. Because if we weren't, we would make that connection to our own soul so that we can experience a God, the God, Jehovah, however you want to call it, on that level. For me, when they speak to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, I get to a place of holiness when I go through the Son, which is me, and have a relationship, which is God the Father. You have to have a relationship with your parents. I have to have a relationship with my parents because that's where we come from. What keeps us all under the same roof is ultimately we all share the same parent. We keep trying to find a whole lot of different ways to explain it because we don't know ourselves. If we took up the mantle of knowledge of ourselves and we trusted ourselves, respected ourselves, loved ourselves, were able to look at ourselves in the mirror without a whole lot of likes, a whole lot of followers, a whole lot of approval, then we would be able to elevate to that space. What you call it doesn't matter. I don't have to name my food to be able to eat because I know I need to eat. So oftentimes we are placing ourselves like the rabbit and the dog who just sits and runs in circles chasing its tail. These things are busy work to keep us from elevating higher. This generation is supposed to be the generation with no judgment and no labels. They got more MFing labels than we've ever had ever before. They're not necessary. There's only two things that exist: good and evil. You get to choose that on a regular basis. And good people can do evil shit in situations, and evil people can do good things in situations. Like people always like to say, oh, white people are nice and kind. That's great. Nobody ever said nobody who does evil, who is technically evil, do good things. Nobody ever said that's not possible. You can do kind things. But your history, I could be good. I could literally do like credit. I could show a history of mostly having bad credit. But at times that jump spike, I could do good. Maybe I got a windfall. And it's up here. But I will usually go right back, right? Those things are possibility. Those are possibilities. So how you show yourself, how you track yourself, those are the truths. We are not capable of facing truth because to face truth, we would have to actually face ourselves. That's what having that connection is going to require. It requires us. All of us really technically is walking around with fake relationships with a higher power.
Thank you for calling in to the R.A.U.L.I radio show. Who do we have the pleasure of speaking with tonight?
Chief, I'm LaShawn.
Thank you for calling in, sir.
Thank you.
What would you like to say to our co-host and our host tonight, sir?
Well, first of all, thank you for the program. Thank you for the title of the show because it is very appropriate. This is real talk, and I can appreciate the mental, spiritual stimulation that I'm getting right now. That's the first thing I want to say.
Appreciate that. That's dope.
So accolades to you and those whom you come from. I really just want to, and I won't even take too long. I just wanted to say we have unfortunately become victim to a primitive culture that has caused us to have self-amnesia. And because we suffer from this self-amnesia, people who have that infection, people who have that infection have a difficult time even reaching a concept of God.
That's right.
Because of people who cannot connect to the very planet they live on have no potential to access God or the idea of God.
I feel like hitting you right now.
So in order for us to regain our divinity, we're going to have to really acknowledge the fact that we are connected to something so great, but our lack of awareness has stupefied our ability to comprehend our personal relationship to divine self. Let me make it simple, because we got to teach people where they are, not where we want them to be.
Ooh,
what a difficult task.
So if I leave this conversation tonight and go back on the back 10 acres of my land, and I get bit by a snake or something crazy happens and I die, and nobody finds me, and I biodegrade, what have I become? A dead person? Human remains? Or have I biochemically become the planet?
That's right.
So if I become the planet and I'm conscious of it, right? Me having the consciousness I have right now, then I am born into something else. I did not die.
Ooh.
The tree clearly understands that it is part of and is the planet. There's no debate between the tree and the earth. That's right. We are the only species the planet can do without.
That right there. Those are truths we can't manage.
And that's why I say, in order to access divinity, God, whatever you choose to define it as, you can't connect to the food you eat, the air you breathe, the breath that you take in your body and appreciate it and give thanks for it. You have no sense thinking anything else, because there's a lack of sensibility.
Well, it's 10:30.
I just wanted to share my love. That's all.
Well, it's 10:30. I think that completed everything.
Oh no.
Give me your address.
That was amazing.
I need your address, because I'm about to come over there and punch you in your jaw, man. Yo, that was dope. That was dope. I like that. That was.
Well, you all stimulated that.
That's
so
1 in a million.
I only responded with a mirror. That's all.
That's 1 in a million.
Give us your name again.
Chief Amushan.
Amushan. That's how you say it?
Oh, this is Chief.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I just wanted to know how to say it.
Knew that. I was like,
I knew, but I didn't know how to say his name. Amushan.
Oh, well, Chief, while I have you on the phone, I have a question. You've been posting the isness all night. What is the isness, sir?
The isness. The isness is when you cannot define something that just is. It's the isness.
You've been going over your head all night.
I was waiting for somebody to pick it up. I knew you was drinking it. I saw you pick your glass up.
He got his 2-step. He got his drink and his 2-step. I can't see. I gotta let you. I have to allow you to be the one to tell those things. I don't be trying to give away your little secret. It's for you and for them.
Well, the brother said it. He said, it just is.
That's right.
He said it himself. It came out of his own mouth. I just replicated it. That's all.
Man.
All right, y'all.
Yo, you were so. But now you got me live.
So again, I say that's why y'all need to come on One Love. Y'all need to experience all my beautiful family that be all up in there.
Hey, look, I'm down for the work. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely down for the work.
That means he gonna come up there and help you work some of that land out there.
I sure will.
Chief.
Oh, don't tempt me with a good time. Don't tell. Look, I'll be up before you. I'll be up at 2:30 waiting for you to get up.
Y'all ready? Where y'all at?
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to share my words and my thoughts with you all.
I appreciate your energy,
Thank you
man.
so much. Tell them about that book, bro.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. So I've just completed what I believe or what I know to be the first book on Black Wall Street written by a descendant. I have done the research and I have figured out the truthful reason Greenwood was destroyed.
Uh-oh.
There is no author that has written about it and told the truth. And so I'll just say this. I'll share a quote with you. Napoleon Bonaparte said, "History is a set of lies agreed upon." If you understand that quote, then you understand the work that I went to do. The lion is telling the story in this book now, not the hunter.
Oh.
The lion.
So this is
not the hunter.
This is the story of Greenwood. It's a story of how Black people came and built up Oklahoma, how Black Wall Street was built. But the story is told in a completely different way than any other author has written it. So everything you think you know about Black Wall Street, we're going to have to rethink it. You know, a lot of people tend to think of Black Wall Street as this they think about it just in terms of economics. Greenwood wasn't built on capitalism. It was built on cooperative economics. Greenwood was also built by Black freedmen who were the former slaves of 5 civilized tribes, Indian tribes. And so most people don't know. You know, I hear people all the time, because I own the Real Black Wall Street Tour Company, and I hear people say, well, you know, there were other Black Wall Streets all across the United States of America. And they are right. The difference is we built this one in the oil capital of the world. And most people do not understand what that means. We had more Black millionaires in the state of Oklahoma than all of the United States combined because of oil, agriculture, and livestock. So those are the significant facts that most people are unaware of. And the film is connected to something much bigger than my book, which I can't talk too much about right now, but get ready, it's coming.
Yes, that's Chief.
Hey, Brother Ed, I see you. So yeah, I appreciate you bringing the book up. I'm doing a soft launch right now. I'm not doing a full launch just yet, but you can find the book. I'll post the link in the chat.
I'm about to say,
because I'm gonna bring my copy for y'all to see, but you can't touch and you can't borrow. And it's gonna be one of those commercials from BET. No way, my brother, you gonna have to get your own.
I'll tell you one thing. One of the persons who reviewed my book for the book is from Houston, Harris County's attorney, Christian Manafee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was one of the first people to actually review my book, because they invited me up. The Texas Bar Association invited me up for an event. So I got connections to your homeland.
So that means one of these days he's gonna have to come here and visit with us.
That means one of these days you're gonna invite me.
You are invited.
Is
this one day right here, right now? You heard it here first. You're invited. Can't wait to see you.
Hey, let me know when you want to come down, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you definitely invited by me.
Absolutely, I appreciate that.
Are you vegetarian?
No, sir, I'm not.
Good. Thank you. All right, I can cook for you then.
I'm a pescatarian.
You're so ignorant.
I'd like to ask a question before we release
have
the
his,
phone line.
email and
Chief,
stuff?
Chief,
Yes, sir.
this is Malcolm. I have a question for you before we release the phone line. A side topic came up earlier, and I would love to hear it from your perspective, from your point of view. I put it up on the screen. Since you called in, I need to hear it from you because you've already expounded upon some things that were needed to be expounded upon. So, has hip hop done anything for the Black community in your mind?
Oh, absolutely. There's a difference between hip hop and rap. Let's be very clear about that. Right? There's a big difference between hip hop and rap. You also have to understand hip hop never died. Hip hop exists in so many forms that if you don't understand what hip hop is, you can't really define what hip hop has done. You can in fact you can underestimate what hip hop has done, right? Some of your greatest artists who have influenced the people around the globe are affecting hip hop, whether it's through dance, whether it's through tagging, graffiti artists, whatever it is, poetry, film industry, whatever it is, hip hop exists in so many aspects of life. But it's just like any other commodity, right? Whether it be oil, platinum, the resources you see coming out of Congo, right? Anything that's good can be exploited and has been exploited. So whatever hip hop has done for our community, it has been exploited. Let me give you a simple example. Look at what happened in the 70s, Black Power movement. All right, you had the Afro pick comb. Who picked that up? The beauty industry. They made big money off the little fist and on the pick. Mm-hmm. What happened after that? The tobacco industry got involved, and they came up with cool cigarettes, right? So you took the slang of hip hop, cool. This is early hip hop. Cool, that's cool, brother. Right? You take that science and everything we touch has become exploited because we create through hip hop. Right? We're creators through hip hop. We just underestimated it so much. We didn't see the value in it. Everybody else did. The whole globe sees the value in hip hop. They just figured out a way to manipulate our cryptogram language. That's a cryptogram language, right? Where we could communicate with each other through a whole different dialect that nobody else really understood. So what happens with that? They create the urban dictionary because they want to try to understand what we're saying to each other. That's a Black Power dynamic. To be able to take a language, take somebody else's primitive language, in fact, because English is the newest language on the planet, right? So we took that language and we made it into a crypto language, cryptogram, where people had to go and create a whole dictionary just to try to understand what we were saying, like Ebonics. Let's criticize them and defile them. These are people who speak Ebonics. You created a whole name, a whole literary name out of something that we created, right? And so this is historic amnesia. This is us not understanding our power and ability, the power behind our speech, right? Because wordplay, word semantics, all of that is very valuable and powerful. Hip hop was the greatest example of that, right? If ever we had a chance to speak in their places, in their spaces, and control the dynamic, control the dialogue, that's when we had the power. So what you have to do is you take hip hop and you transform it into rap, right? Then you start rapping about shit, right? Fertilizer that don't have any value except in the ground. And where did many of our people end up? In the ground. You follow me?
Yeah.
So hip hop had its place, and it was the most powerful tool that could be used. What I was trying to type in the text early in the chat was a good friend of mine, works for Source Magazine. He asked a big hip hop mogul in Louisiana. Y'all probably know who I'm talking about, because when I use the word mogul, that narrows it down a lot.
It sure does.
He was asked off record, why do you always put just one conscious song on your album? He said, and why don't you do a whole album like that? He said, shit, they'll kill you. Yep. He's talking about the industry. The industry will kill you, right? If you don't become a killer, then we will kill you, and we'll find us a killer, right? I ain't got to be talking flesh and blood. I'm talking about the spirit of hip hop, the mentality of hip hop. We'll find a way to kill that. So you don't have that's why is KRS-One like the one? Why is it just one, not KRS-2, 3, 4, 5, right? Because it's a science behind it all. Like, this man is the one who's speaking in that way that is going to, that has the potential to create something really powerful, which is what hip hop was doing. Most of us can remember that. We know the people that I'm talking about. We know you got most younger people, if you ask them who's the hip hop artist today, they'll say the last one we knew was Dead Prez. That was the last group we knew, right? And that's because it's underground. If you're not an underground hip hop lover, you won't know the collective of hip hop artists who are really, movers and shakers. So hip hop in and of itself is like, what do you call it? The genie's bottle. You rub that thing right, you can create some really powerful stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? You could really create some powerful things. And so hip hop it's one of those, it's another isness when you really think about it.
That's right.
Because it is. And it's almost like you define God, like
that's right.
The positive and negative duality, it has a duality to it. There's nothing in the whole universe that doesn't have duality.
That's right.
It has duality. It's how we use what we got. And the people who have the quote unquote control or power mechanisms in play, they fully understand that.
Oh,
the monster that becomes strong is the one you feed. So we just got to feed our stuff.
That's right.
Man, I dig it. You coming here dropping knowledge. When you coming to Houston again?
I love that thinking.
Don't be giving that when I'm invited, because that's already happened. So I guess we'll see you Tuesday, huh?
You make arrangements. I'll be there.
Oh, okay. I'll be in touch with you then.
Yeah. All right, don't play. Make arrangements.
You said you got a film coming out too, right?
Who told you that?
That's not a conversation.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of somebody else. My bad.
No, I'm the consultant.
Okay.
I'm the historic consultant for a film.
Okay.
That is that hopefully is going to do something really, really incredible. The ancestors don't make mistakes.
Hopefully.
We on the ground in Tulsa have we really put in a lot of we're still putting in a lot of work to get justice for our two living survivors who both are 109 years old.
Oh.
And so and my cousin happens to be the attorney for those survivors. So it's a family of justice and revolution, both external and internal, is part of our mission in this life, and we take it very serious. And so this film that we've been working on for 6 years now is we just you know how it is with good news. Sometimes you just kind of got to sit on it like a hen sit on an egg. It ain't a chicken till it hatch.
Huh.
And so we're sitting on the egg.
I'm definitely gonna get you in and talk about your book, and then we'll leave that imaginary film alone for now. And we'll let that egg hatch comfortably.
Right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The egg being hatched is this book.
Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna get into
absolutely
the book.
Absolutely.
Because I want to read this.
What-
I agree with that. That story about Tulsa wasn't told all the way. It's only been told one way.
Yeah, no, it hasn't. You're right. You're right. I mean, it's been so. There are some good. There are some good people who've written books. The most critical are the first two. Mary Parrish, she was a survivor. She wrote a book in 1922, and then Mabel B. Little, who was a survivor of the Tulsa Massacre, wrote a book. But since then, there hasn't been a descendant write a book about the Tulsa Massacre. And I'm not a historian. I'm a history recovery specialist. The difference between the two is historians regurgitate history. I research what historians regurgitate.
I like that.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I dig that.
That's
true.
powerful.
That's true.
That's how you change. That's how you change narratives.
That's anarchy, right?
That's how you dispel, because we give too much license to our stories being told, and we obtain our stories from other people. It doesn't make sense.
No, that's true. We do. We get our stories. We get our stories from PBS and then repeat it.
It doesn't make sense. And then
y'all are so on point. That's one of the things that made the book powerful. Because what I did is I did what no other author has done. Is I said, how is it possible that all the references and citations are coming from white newspapers, and we live in a state that had 50 black towns in 1921. Like, somebody else had to be writing stories and interviewing people from the Greenwood community. So the stuff I discovered blew my mind, left me in tears. In fact, I got a magnifying glass looking through old news articles and everything, and thinking to myself, we have really been academically betrayed, because this is literally the blueprint. This book just really exposes the blueprint to how we get underneath, how we get out from underneath the thumb of white supremacy. It's just that once we get out from under the thumb, we're not prepared to defend our freedom.
Ooh. Question real quick before I let you go.
But before you ask him that question, that part right there, that's where rap lends itself. Who else was going to tell the inner city stories?
Oh no!
Without its own spin and its own narrative about how they thugged out, they ganged out.
Yeah.
And no story about, like, they hatched, like they didn't come from mothers and fathers.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have lives, like they didn't have circumstances.
Yeah.
The storyteller is extremely important.
No, I
always has been.
I feel that. When you were doing research for Black Wall Street, how much of the internet did you use?
Very little, actually.
Oh, there you go. That's what I wanted. I already know. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah. The thing about being a history recovery specialist is, if you can find it, it's probably not the right information you need.
Ooh, that's all I wanted.
Because that information that you need is always going to be hidden. It's like, I'll give you a quick example. I'm on the Mass Graves Oversight Committee, where we're investigating mass graves in the city of Tulsa from the Tulsa Massacre. And I had a white gentleman whose family built the first sidewalks in Tulsa. He said, "Hey, come meet me at this hotel and you can interview." I asked him, "Can I record it?" And he told me, he said, "Hey, that cemetery that you all investigating, that you just pulled those bodies out of, the majority of bodies are under that highway. So now I got to go find maps and images or whatever details I can find about the highway." But the only way so if I was a Google scholar, I would have said, "Let me look up highways and maps of the highways from this time period and that time period." But see, the key word he said is it used to be a railroad. Right? So now I got to get a map of the railroads, not the highways. And in discovering pictures of the railroad, I find old pictures of Greenwood that I never thought I would ever see, set my eyes on. And I only recognized it as being Greenwood because I knew the buildings that existed in 1921. So that's just one example of some of the things that I discovered, and I just wanted to try to answer some of the questions in this first book that a lot of people ask about the Tulsa Massacre that have not been answered by any scholar or historian. If your listeners want to go to the Center for Public Secrets, that's an organization we created that's online. People have always asked, what happened to Sarah Page and Dick Rowland? You know, the shoeshine boy that got in the elevator with the white girl that they said he raped, you know. And every historian has said, we'll never really know what happened to these people. And I'm thinking, how difficult can it be to find out what happened to these people?
Mm-hmm.
So I started looking for marriage certificates and divorce decrees and all kind of stuff.
Oh, you a real one.
And I found,
yeah,
and I found them. Like, it's not that difficult. It's just when somebody creates a narrative, they herd you like cattle for slaughter. So you're being directed into a certain direction. Woo! Like white folks saying Greenwood wasn't bombed by airplanes. Well, what they're saying about using dynamite. Okay, first of all, who said anything about dynamite? So you're trying to suggestively implant an idea into the minds of the public that white folks use dynamite when in World War I, they used two types of grenades. Okay? 2 generations of grenades in World War I. There is no one who can look at the images of Black Wall Street after it was destroyed and not say that it was bombed. So it's all these narratives, these false narratives, that I have a responsibility and an absolute pleasure of deconstructing to reconstruct.
Chief, I'm gonna be in touch with you, man. You
That's a real one.
I'm gonna be in touch with you because I just hope everybody heard that. He did not use the internet. He did not sit here and look at a computer screen. And
how do we think that information is put into the internet?
Exactly.
From the land of truth?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So
the same people who are telling you the lies have programmed the lies. I mean, it's right. I mean, I'm not sure where we think this comes from.
Exactly. Man,
Brooklyn said something earlier before I go. She said something earlier. She said, something about the historians, right? These people, the storytellers. And in my book, I actually state I went to Jamaica, Woodside, Jamaica, to spend some time in the hills of Woodside with a elder named Erna Broadbent. She does this thing called Black Space, where she brings together grassroots people and academia people high up in the mountains of Woodside. And there was a sister there named Miss Meeks. She was a storyteller, famous storyteller in Jamaica. And we were talking to some Black professors out of the University of West Indies. And she said, Professor, you do know head comes before book. The head comes before the book. So you ask your head first before you read the book. The stories come from the head before they get to the book. You see what I'm saying? Right. And so information is passed through a certain direction. Right. We just like to take the most convenient road, right? Which is that digital highway. When we really need to find them. If you're gonna use the internet, go to Amazon and look at them $100, $600, $900 books.
Hey.
That's right.
That it's a reason they cost that much.
Exactly.
Right. So when I look at my archive, my book of archives, I say, okay, so you got book writers who are taking excerpts from the internet or from certain journals or certain dissertations and certain pieces of it, and then creating 200 citations in a book to make it look like they did a ton of research. When they really didn't do any research, they just took fragments of history and made it fit their narrative. But when you take the whole book and you unpack that thing and you sift it like gold so you can get the dirt out of it, then you find out where the real truth has been hidden. What they call a lie. The library a lie because the library because that's where they buried a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Man,
So I appreciate it.
man, I appreciate you calling in. Appreciate you listening, man. Give us the energy.
Yes, much love to all of you. I appreciate you very much.
And that's all people, Malcolm. There's all types. Thank you, Chief. I appreciate you.
All right.
Shay, I love you.
Y'all have a wonderful evening.
You
do the
too.
same. You that goes for everyone.
Yes.
Everyone takes the short route. They used to say it all the time. If you want to hide the truth from a nigga, put it in the book. But that's honestly from anyone. That's the same thing for the pastors that teach us on Sundays. They drop a hot 16, like your latest rap album, and that you've been learning them same 16 tracks the whole time for all 3-4 of your generations, because ain't nobody dug in that book. That's evidentiary by the pictures and things that we had hung. The Bible gives a description saying one thing, but what you got hanging on your wall look like something different.
Exactly.
How is that possible if you read it for yourself? Now, full disclaimer, if we've been getting our information from our grandparents who weren't allowed to read, didn't know how to read. So the information they had was passed down. That's precisely why when you know how to read, you got to read it for yourself. Because they can only give you what they had. And obviously what they were being fed is not going to be the whole truth. It's going to be the hot 16.
Exactly.
It's a discipline unto ourselves. We have to be disciplined in a way that doesn't allow us to keep subscribing to these things, because it's your choice. It's your choice. It's not a matter of you being smarter than anyone. It's not a matter of you being richer than anyone. We talk about all this generational wealth. It has nothing to do with money, because here's the thing. Generational wealth has been had time and time again, but generational ignorance has canceled it out many times.
That's right.
Exactly.
If you continue with generational ignorance, I don't give a damn how much money you keep having. It's going to come and it's going to go. Because the mindset is still not right.
Exactly.
It's gonna contaminate everything. You gotta get to a place. I was telling Aaron today, you gotta get to a place to know the difference between being a tame horse and a wild horse. If you interact with a tamed horse on a stable, you'll get a good reaction. He'll let you touch him and ride him and approach him and pet him. For the most part, they might wild out here and there, but then they might kill it because they think it's wrong and it's not. Try to do that same thing with a wild horse. The moment you approach that wild horse,
that's a wrap, buddy.
It's a threat, and he will do anything, including kill you, for his freedom.
Exactly.
And if we don't discipline ourselves in that way, there's no way that I can give you whole, sane, healthy food if I am not receiving whole, sane, healthy food. No matter what we come from, it doesn't mean that's how we have to get to it. But we keep packing it on and packing it in. There is never going to be a time, hello, newsflash, that your enemy is going to do right by you. I'm sorry. That's never going to exist. So everything that you do is your choice. And the first thing you have to do is identify that so you can maneuver accordingly. Here's the thing. It's not that we can't continue in life, because we have to. We all coexist on this earth. But how we coexist has to be at that level. No one respects a coward. No one respects a slave. How do you give up everything about the greatness about you to the lesser of you? Because everything comes from Black. So how do you give up everything about yourself to the lesser of you? Everybody is looking at you to lead, to move forward in that way, and you're trying to be something that you're not. You're assimilating and associating to something that you're not. That's a flag on a play. Why? How can I respect that? How can I honor that? And then you won't even take the time to return to yourself, because it requires discipline to do that. It won't be an overnight thing. The indoctrination is real, but then we continue to we want, even in our best efforts to connect to buying Black and having doctors and lawyers and stuff like that, and psychologists and therapists,
they're indoctrinated.
Mhm.
If you're not committed to yourself and knowing yourself, the only thing that you could do is continue to give me the same medicine.
Mhm.
The same thing you were taught, no matter whether you're a black police officer, no matter what black hyphen you are still going to continue to feed me the same germs, the same disease, the same poison, because that's what you know. How do you teach me something different? How do we keep expecting people to show up in a certain way just because of how they look? That mindset, that discipline. You bought the bullet. I can't, there's nothing you can give to me. There's nothing I can receive from you.
Exactly.
And expect.
Exactly. The anarchy, I'm glad the brother said what he said. I'm glad you said what you said. Part of that anarchy is realizing that, I said at the beginning of the show, through the ash, you could find evidence of what was there before. And he said that he had to go look for a railroad, not a freeway. And to start that anarchy, we got to throw away all these clips we see on the internet, all this Googledom that we have. Because, you know, when I was younger, like you said, hip hop does tell a story to add that into it. I learned about what was happening through my big mama. She might have not had some degree, and my grandma.
That's right.
My daddy took me over there and said, your big mama's the smartest person.
That's right.
He ever knew. And I go sit there and talk to that long-haired lady. And this is when I was young. She was. This is how I figured out a lot of stuff. Now I'm about to call some anarchy. She said, man, I wasn't never no slave. She said, these white folks, because my big mama was very fair-skinned, as they said. Very, you would think she was white. She said, these white folks started coming into her neighborhood. Some of these black folks told them where to go. Started coming into the neighborhood and getting rid of us. My family had a town called Keatonville, right? You won't see us looking at no maps. That's why I asked them, how'd you find this stuff?
Find it?
You not going, let me tell you something right quick. If all your knowledge is coming off the internet and popular books written by so-and-so that's on, check this out. Is you going to buy some weed that's $2?
I mean, some fools might.
But
the internet is you further into the net.
Exactly.
The trap.
Exactly. You're not going to, the real shit, if you really want some good shit, it's going to have to go back to back in the day when it was 25 a gram. You see what I'm saying? 25 a gram when you was like,
let's cut.
Exactly. It wasn't cut. One hitter quitters.
That's it.
One little leaf would last you damn near the whole two. You hit, okay, let's roll. I'm good for the night. So it's the same thing with our history and our knowledge, our stories and our knowledge. You ain't gonna get it for $10.99 on Amazon. You're not gonna get it for free on YouTube. No one's gonna push out, like she said earlier, ain't no white company owned by anybody on Instagram or anything gonna feed you knowledge to help you become a better culture. We gotta destroy that. We gotta get off there. We gotta stop paying attention to just that. And we gotta start putting some work in, digging up these graves despite what they say. And we gotta stop regurgitating, like he said on there also. We gotta stop regurgitating what we hear.
Yes.
To some of these, we gotta stop doing that. Like
about it.
You right. You know what?
Yeah.
Whenever Brooklyn says something, she's right. Whenever I say something, I'm right. Whenever Malcolm says something, he's right. These are all personal universes that we've created. We're arguing over something, and sometimes it makes for good conversation and it stimulates your mind. That I don't have a problem with. There was a debate between Dr. Scott Whitaker and Dr. Africa about what you should do. Scott Whitaker told him, hey, I followed you. Everything I do is because of you. Some things I don't agree with. That's how we got to be with each other. That's probably on YouTube.
You don't have
you don't have. It's not about agreeing. It's not about kumbaya. It's about getting to the outcome. We got to start having an outcome. If we're going to talk on the phone, if I'm going to talk to this brother or this sister for 2 or 3 hours about whatever, after that, we need to be doing something. That's what I'm used to. That's one of my points right now. We got to have an outcome, and we got to stop regurgitating, which means while we on the phone, if we know that Jesus was made up, now it's time for us to put our stories together like he's been doing, investigating the true story of what happened in Oklahoma. It's time to start putting our stories together and putting faces to it so that we have something to believe in, and so that we have something to work from. You see what I'm saying? And until we start doing that, we're not going to go nowhere. And when we start doing that, anarchy will be bestowed onto us because they don't want us to know that. They being the system being the white, the blacks, the Mexicans, the Chinese, everybody that contributed to us not knowing to our self-amnesia, like the brother said. All those who was feeding us, all those who gave us the infection. You see, I'm getting a little hype, but this is what it is.
But
all that who've been giving us the infection. They don't want us to be cured. They don't want us to be pure anymore. So the point of this show,
whose want to matters? Theirs or ours?
No, what I'm saying is when we dig it up.
Yeah.
When we start digging it up, you're going to cause anarchy.
Yes.
That infection is going to start pouring out like, dang, this wasn't right. This wasn't right. When the blinders come off, when you start seeing it, it's going to cause anarchy. Not just with them, but amongst your own people.
Amongst yourself.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So what we got to do is we got to stop chucking and jiving, man. We got to stop accepting things for the way they are. Because the way things are right now is an illusion. You see what I'm saying? He had to go through map after map after map, physically, not digitally, but physically, to find what he needed to find. And we got to stop doing everything so digitally, but we got to do it physically. We got to find our own stories. And we got to start sharing those stories like hip-hop would do through word of mouth. You see what I'm saying? Excuse me.
How did we accomplish so much more with less? We had a greater system and we had less of all of these things.
Exactly. One thing I'm gonna give you an example. Is money. We got to start creating our own currency, things that make things flow. That's one of the things we got to start doing. A lot of us going 9 to 5, staying there from 9 to 5. If we get off, time is an illusion. We got to get off their time and get back onto our time. When people say CP time, that's low key. I hate fuck it. That's low key saying we coming on our time, the spirit's time. We got to get back to that. They didn't have clocks back then. My grandma had my big mama had a sundial. If anybody remember those, she had a sundial in there, along with a horseshoe above each door, along with a dream catcher made by a certain person who had that spirit. You know what I'm saying? Along with a lot of other stuff I didn't know.
We're too afraid to trust ourselves on that.
Exactly. And that's another thing. I think you said that. He said that earlier. We got to start having the belief. Oh, you know what? I'm going over time. My bad, Malcolm. We got to start having the belief in ourselves. I wrote something down, but whatever. We got to start having the belief in ourselves and in what we're doing. And we got to start creating a God that has our back. Ain't no God right now out here looking out for us and we sitting here lost. Which is why I say we need to create something new. Give our own names to it. And if you're not connected enough to do it, don't try it. This ain't for you. These are for the ones who connected. These are for the ones who's like, okay, what's the glitch here? You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna let everybody give what they want to say real quick. But Genesis of Anarchy, we're gonna continue this probably next week. And the sister Sister Rose. I like what you said about the marriages. Should they be renewed? Should they be renewed or whatever? Malcolm, if you can put my Instagram or email on here, let me know what you want to talk about. I'm down for people dropping stuff they want to talk about and putting it on the show. But
tell Instagram right quick where they can follow you before I turn it off.
R.A.U.L.I Radio on Instagram, N.R.Z 8556 on Instagram, and N.R. Zulu on Facebook. If you want to.
And tonight's show was about?
Tonight's show is the Genesis of Anarchy Dreamland Reboot. In order for us to dream correctly, and that's the wrong terminology, dream, but so we have this conversation. In order for us to dream correctly, we got to change our mental. We everything has to be eradicated, and we got to start listening to ourselves. So, Dreamland Reboot. I'm gonna give you some quick tips real quick. First off, write down your different guys, what you want them to do, what they should be doing. You see what I'm saying? Give it a name, give it a spirit, and once you do that, even get someone to draw you a picture. Look at it every day and start focusing on that, because you'll start seeing that God and you'll make it become real. That's just something real quick I'm gonna give y'all something that'll work, something that I do.
Start with yourself.
Yeah, start with start with yourself. But when I say create one, that comes from your mind. You see what I'm saying? So that's also look at yourself. But if you want to create these different gods as we do, that's one way to do it. Write down whatever name comes to you. Don't use something that you heard, but whatever comes to you, because we're only using terminology that was given to us. Brooklyn, do you have something to say that you want to end the show with?
Yeah, I want to say shout out to hip hop 50-year anniversary. May it turn into something different as it continues to evolve from whatever it was to whatever it is. May it continue to be what it will be. I want to give a shout out to my family and friends. Well, they are my family who came through tonight with that good. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all, everybody, for tuning in, listening to the live, listening to the replays, and so on and so forth. I am Brooklyn's Son, the Soul Coach, with 2 N's on both on all social media. Not that I really be on there, but that's my piece.
Malcolm, you want to say something real quick, man? Or
right quick, yes, sir. Before we end the show, y'all, those of you who are tuning in late, I wish we could talk all night, y'all, but we go from 8:30 to 10:30, and I allow the show to go 30, 40 minutes over.
I sure appreciate it.
Yes, sir, because the show be so dope, it be so deep, it be so enlightening. Allow it to go longer. I'm sorry y'all tuned in late. People like Mr. Jason X is tuning in late. We have Miss Bernadette Sky Goddess Bernard on Instagram. She's tuning in late. She's wanting to know what the plan is. The plan that you always speak about, Mr. N.R. Before I turn the Instagram off.
Question, Queen.
Great question.
Know what the plan is? Oh,
yes.
We're gonna have to tune in. You stay tuned.
Stay tuned, Miss Bernadette. The plan will be revealed, but we're unfortunately at the end of the show. But back to the initial question. As I turn Instagram off, I want you guys to tune in every Tuesday night from 8:30 to 10:30, or in this case, 8:30 to 11:30 to the to the R.A.U.L.I radio show. Y'all go and follow R.A.U.L.I radio at R.A.U.L.I radio, R.A.U.L.I radio. That stands for Rebooting and Uniting Lost Energies. Tune in every Tuesday night from 8:30 to 10:30. That's all I got for Instagram. I just wanted to post something to let y'all know what we're talking about. Tonight's show was about anarchy. We talked about several different topics. Please go to our YouTube or our YouTube channel or our Facebook page and listen to the whole show. This has been the R.A.U.L.I radio show with N.R. right here on your right and Miss Brooklyn's Son on your left. All right. Good night, Instagram. Now to answer your question. Do I have anything to add to the show? Man, no, because it's late. Only because it's late, man. Once again, man, y'all knocked it out the park like 5 times. Not only y'all, but the Chief and Jason X is still commenting. Miss Rose Collins from Opelousas, Louisiana. Mr. Ed Campbell. I mean, the whole Miss Jati. Everybody adds to the show every week, and y'all knock it out of the park collectively. I wholeheartedly support this show, and we might not always agree, and we don't have to. I just like the banter. You know, I like discussing. I like having. I can't get the word out of my mouth. I like having intelligent conversations with people, and it doesn't matter if we agree or not. Most of this we agreed on tonight. A lot of it, like 99% of it, especially from Miss Brooklyn's Son, and especially from you, N.R. That's all I got to say, Ryan, for tonight. I wish we had another 30 minutes to an hour, and I would add more. But in short, y'all knocked about 5 home runs tonight.
Man, last but not least, the table party is still coming. Who asked what the plan is? Sister Bernadette?
No, Miss Bernadette was on Instagram. I turned it off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hit me up. Send me her information. Yeah, the table party's still coming. I got a spot. I'm trying to get everything organized the way I want. I'm like the brother said, I don't want the egg to hatch. I'll put some heat on, let it hatch, whatever. But yeah, y'all listen, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Give some thought to what was said. Start making some, appreciate it, Mouth. Tangible action, building liberation. And I don't just mean that in the Pan-African way, man. You got to liberate yourself first. And once you liberate yourself, then we can start pushing this energy.
Emancipate yourself from mental slavery.
Exactly.
None but ourselves can free our minds.
Exactly. So once you do that, we can talk. But I appreciate everybody listening. I appreciate you letting us go into overtime on the show. I appreciate Brooklyn joining me every night. And it's about to go down, man. It's about to go down. Listen to these shows and get a feel for me, because when I throw in that TKO, what did Muhammad Ali call it? Rope-a-dope?
Yeah.
I'm going for the rope-a-dope. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, R.A.U.L.I Radio. There it is. Instagram, R.A.U.L.I Radio, N.Yards Zulu on Facebook, and N.Yards Z8556. We'll be back next Tuesday.
Shout out to Malcolm. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Malcolm be hooking it up, man. He could have been said, hey, y'all need to shut up.
Goodbye.
Hung up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
No, they used to do me like that when we were shout out to my boy, Mr. K Nice at GMT Radio, my mentor in radio game, but he used to be on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 10:30, it's 10:31, it's 10:30 and 30 seconds, he'd be over there at the door. Chopping his neck off. And I love him, but I disagree. I'm just like, let him go. Let him get it all out. You know what I mean? So that's why I even get it from my partner. She'd be like, babe, you've been there all day. Go on and go home. I'd be like, nah, I want the listening audience to be captured, like enraptured. Like who was that? Anita Baker? Enraptured. Caught up in the rapture. I want our listening audience caught up, so that I'll give the extra 30 minutes. So next week they'll be like, man, that was dope, man. I'm going back for some more. So I don't mind. Yeah.
Appreciate that, man. Hey, y'all have a beautiful life. Everybody have a beautiful life, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back next Tuesday. We're not gonna do it all over again, but we're gonna empower you some more. What they got up next? Some ratchet music?
We got some ratchet music. We got a little bit of everything here at Real Talk 100 Radio. A lot of the time we play Southern Soul. We play a lot of 90s and 2000 R&B and hip hop hits. And we play, like N.Yards said, a lot of ratchet music, because we do support the independent and underground music industry. If you are a music artist and you'd like to send your music in, please send it in MP3 form only, and licensed and registered, preferably, so that you get your royalties on the other end. Send it to Real Talk 100 Radio at gmail.com. That is with 3 O's. That's Real Talk 100 Radio with 3 O's on the end of radio at gmail.com. Send your music in, and rotation is free here at Real Talk 100 Radio. Promotion is the only thing that costs. That's Real Talk 100 Radio with 3 O's at gmail.com. Send your music in. That's all we got for tonight. We're going to end the show tonight with Tubby the Kid. Tubby the Kid, Kid. Tubby the Kid. We're going to end the show tonight with a song called Evolution and Revolution. It pertains to the show, pertains to the topic. It's right in line with the topic of tonight of anarchy. Y'all tune in next Tuesday night from 8:30 to 10:30 on the R.A.U.L.I radio show. Good night, everybody, as we go right into Evolution and Revolution by Tubby the Kid. Y'all look him up on Instagram and Facebook at Tubby the Kid. Good night, everybody.
Tell me, is it evolution or revolution? Is it evolution or revolution? Tell me, is it evolution or revolution? Is it evolution or revolution? Somebody give me a sign, please tell me, is it evolution or revolution? Somebody give me an explanation, tell me, is it evolution or revolution? Tell me, Tell me, is it evolution or revolution? Is it evolution or revolution? Check it. Is it evolution or revolution? When you come out unarmed with your hands up and they still shooting. Or maybe it's part of your right to bear arms in the Constitution. But that ain't the solution. Trying to bring a conclusion by starting knowledge confusion. Got people thinking they losing cause what the media choosing. Causing historical bruising. Feeling emotional movement like the sway of a cruise ship. Evolving a new wits, enslaved in mindsets. Burying artifacts to make us forget. See, I come to speak life and not death and cause a chain of unification amongst black brothers. Survive and bring back health by breaking chains and joining arms together and stop hating your black self. Look at what ignorance is overlooked. They got you hooked on everything but phonics to understand the books. They took and left crooks and fiends and set foot and then created monsters, then became shook. But now look, they got a foul hook. They got a foul hook. Injustice, we cry and we plead, but destruction, corruption is all we received in the land that we live, in the place that we stay. Everybody got a message, but nobody wanna say, is it evolution or revolution? Somebody give me a sign, please tell me, is it evolution or revolution? Somebody give me an explanation, tell me, is it evolution or revolution? Tell me, is it evolution or revolution? Is it evolution or revolution? Check it.
All right. Good night, everybody. Y'all make sure you go and follow Tubby the Kid on Instagram and Facebook. On Facebook, he's Tubby the Kid Music, and Tubby the Kid is his personal page. And on Instagram, he is Tubby the Kid. Tubby the Kid. DD is what he likes to say. Y'all go and give him a follow. That was Evolution and Revolution, and that brings us to a conclusion to the R.A.U.L.I radio show, which stands for Rebooting and Uniting Lost Energies. Y'all go and follow them as well at R.A.U.L.I Radio on Instagram. R.A.U.L.I Radio. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. Good night, everybody. From myself, from R.A.U.L.I Radio, and from Brooklyn Sun and Inyar Zulu, the host and co-host of the show. Good night, everybody. As Inyar and Brooklyn wave good night to you. Peace. We'll see y'all next Tuesday night. Y'all keep it locked. Also, in the morning, wake up. Set your coffee makers for 9:45 so that 10 p.m. Set your coffee makers for 9:45 so at 10 a.m. you can tune in to the Cup of Joe Morning Show. Wake up and learn something about all of the topics that he has for you. He talks about everything on the screen: relationship topics, mortgage lending basics, advanced financial wisdom, home buying strategies, first-time buyers plans, lifestyle building, personal development, hot topics, and overall encouragement where life is concerned. Y'all tune in to the Cup of Joe Morning Show. Get your coffee, your sugar, your cream ready, and I'll see y'all in the morning. I'll be right back here from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. I know it says 11 a.m. right there, but he just upgraded to a 2-hour show. We'll see y'all in the morning, y'all, on the Cup of Joe Morning Show. Good night from the R.A.U.L.I Radio Show. Bye, everybody.